Let me know when you can see my stream.
Oh no.
What's wrong?
That liquid. That was a cup.
Oh no.
Okay.
There are fluids everywhere?
There's fluids everywhere.
Oh no.
Okay. I got a towel.
Okay. Can you see the Legend of Legaia home screen?
I'm gonna click your stream. I'm watching an ad.
Hell yeah.
It's showing me about Lexus cars.
The stream brought to you by Lexus Cars. Apparently.
Did I tell you about how that car accident I had like 3-4 years ago? That was the first car I ever bought with my own money. So
Oh
I
no.
totaled the first car I ever bought.
Oh no.
Trying to listen to our Final Fantasy X podcast while driving.
So you blame our Final Fantasy X podcast?
I blame the Final Fantasy X podcast for getting me into a car accident and giving me a concussion. I'm going to try and see what the audio quality is on the stream.
Okay. Well, I am talking, and I am loading the last save.
Okay. I sound better than Arbitrary.
Good.
That boy needs to figure out how to balance audio. I don't know how you live the non-dual monitor setup, but
I have two monitors.
So
I have two monitors.
You don't have productivity monitors.
What's a productivity?
That means my monitor can tilt and do all sorts
Mine
of
can tilt a little bit. I don't have an arm or something to do it, though. I just tilt it.
I got a new work monitor that can basically go vertical. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, the vertical monitors I think are cool. I've just never felt hyper compelled to get them. So this section that I did earlier yesterday, I was actually watching a speed run of this game, and I learned that there are hidden items that I have never gotten before in this stupid place. So now I am doubling back.
I wrote down questions to ask.
Okay.
When you said you wanted me to be the next guest on this.
Yes.
Okay, so question number 1. Is there ever an opportunity to go back to previous environments and, like, do things that you didn't complete or were able to do in older environments?
Some of them. Yes.
But not...
Some no.
So it's like that Final Fantasy IX where, yo, you can't come back to that one city because we blew it up.
Yeah. Story stuff happens to some of these towns, and they get fucked up. There we go. I got a platinum card. So that's what I wanted. I got
How
the 3 hidden items.
How much grinding is required in this game? Because it seems like some of your difficulties, especially with the first real boss in this game, might have been technically alleviated by, like, grinding, but I'm still confused in terms of is it as far as some earlier Dragon Quest games where it's built into the DNA, or is this like some sort of like middle ground?
It's a middle ground. You don't need to grind in this game. You need a certain like bare minimum of damage output, but you do not need to grind necessarily. You don't have to just sit here and fight battles.
One could say that the bosses are kind of like gear check. It's like,
yes,
you could beat this boss if you're this level and have these items, and if you don't, it's going to be harder. There's still the chance you can go forward, but good luck.
Yeah, and the speedrunner that I was watching this morning was a lower level than I in most stuff, but because he had better knowledge of what needed to be done, like, he ended up fine because he just knew the things. That little section where Noah's asking questions about money and stuff, apparently if you just tell her you don't know what money is, the dude will just give you the item for free.
What?
Yeah.
That's great.
And if you get all of the questions wrong that she asks you, she'll just give you a free, like, level up item. She gives you wisdom water, which increases your magic stat.
I know I promised you I wouldn't talk about basketball, but apparently Tyrese has entered health and safety protocols, and I want to fucking die.
Boo.
Tyrese Halliburton.
Yep. I know which Tyrese you're talking about. Yeah, I watched.
Tyrese.
I watched the highlights from the Nuggets Lakers game yesterday. My
Very
goodness, what an ass whooping!
I told you putting Dwight on Jokic was a dum-dum. They even had Dwight and Drummond on the fucking floor together, and it's like, what are you doing?
Well, it just seemed like they were getting back cut to death. Like, Jeff Green had 4 dunks that I counted that were just like, he set a screen, and then both guys stayed with the ball handler, and no one checked Jeff Green, and he just had a free run to the rim. Which, you know, not to say that Jeff Green's not an agile man, but he is 35.
Yeah. I don't know what to tell you other than they're in a hole.
Jeff Green is 35, and he is just like blazing past these dudes. Russ trying to start a fight with Aaron Gordon after he tried very hard to body him out of the way for a layup, and Aaron Gordon just didn't move because he's bigger than Russell Westbrook.
Was the funniest thing ever.
I don't know how he got a foul called on him, honestly.
It was the funniest thing ever.
How did Aaron Gordon foul him?
I think they called him for a charge.
Oh, they called Russ.
Oh, they called Russ?
Oh, no, I'm asking, was the foul on Russ or was it on Aaron Gordon? Because it looked like Aaron
was...
was...
on Aaron Gordon.
I know. It seemed to me like that's what the call was, but he was just holding his ground, and Russ just kept trying to shoulder him out of the way. I didn't realize also... Now I can get this item. Okay. I got the point card. So the point card is like a credit card in this game. It's like a rewards card. So the point card, it earns you 5% back of price. Points worth 5% of the price when you shop, and you can throw these points to do damage to enemies.
Interesting. So there's like a Chinese Communist Party social credit system?
No, it's a purchase credit system. Like, it's based on buying shit. So it's a...
Okay.
It is very much a... It's very much a capitalist credit system.
So, I guess my next question is,
Ooh.
do you ever... You obviously get into a groove in terms of, like, your combos and your attacks.
Yep.
But I think my big concern, and this is something that Braden basically brought up, does it ever start to feel speedier than what was shown at the start of the game? I mean, obviously it does get faster when you start to get new characters and the party starts to flesh out more.
Yep.
But boy, one guy versus the same butterfly over and over again in like basic random encounters taking way longer than you'd like seemed like a chore.
The game does get faster. Like, right now, just getting the second character, because Noah hits hard and has a lot of extra moves. So getting that second character and getting to where Vaughn can use magic more than once or twice without having to rest, like, those speed the game up considerably.
I also cannot imagine that in 1998, which means they probably started developing this 97, 96, the amount of technological prowess that this team must have had for all of these animations, and they are super intricate animations, kind of just blows my mind.
Yeah, this game holds up tech-wise. I mean, it's no Vagrant Story, but it is pretty impressive.
Yeah. And if I recall, this developer, Procyon, basically made this, then then Lagaya II, and then maybe one more game after that, and then just disappeared. So
yes.
They shot their shot.
Yep.
They shot their shot and then disappeared from history.
Yep. And no one has done a, like, revival of this style of RPG, or this combat system. Right. No one's done a, like, hey, that Legaia combat system was cool, let's improve upon it.
I'm just surprised that no one's decided to merge a fighting game into an RPG. Like, even a little bit.
Yeah.
I guess you could kind of say that there's usually, like, as we are playing Final Fantasy VI, the Sabin stand, where it's like,
Mhm.
I'm going to input commands for, the Ayala stand for this RPG. There's usually a fighting game mini-game for a character special, but it's never been the entire
Zell,
conceit of a
Sabin. I think that the difficulty with the real-time fighting game mechanics that you have for Sabin or Zell is that it's basically a menu. Well, Zell's a little different. Sabin, it's basically a menu system where you can screw up, right? Like,
Yeah.
you're trying to do a specific move and you can fuck up, and if you fuck up,
Right.
then you just don't get the move. With Zell, you're putting in combo after combo after combo, and so it's a little different. Like, you've got a timer to try and get as many attacks out as you can, and so I think that that's like a noticeably different way of implementing it. That's a little bit more justifiable. This game has, you can't screw up the inputs, right? It's ultimately just a menu. It's just a menu that has fighting game directional pad stuff going on. So I think I like this implementation. I like that they found ways to make it so that the attacks are not just, well, I dial up my menu and then I pick the one attack I want to do. There's actually some reason to do different moves.
Right.
Like I said yesterday, there are some combos that are more powerful if you, some combos don't work against certain enemies because they're flying or whatever. Some combos are more powerful than others, so you want to use them. There are reasons to do these different styles of attack, which, some of the other games that have this style of menu, like Sabin, you just use the most powerful one every time. Right. Once you unlock his best move, you're trying to do that one every time. You just, the other ones can fuck off.
Yeah. Or you very obviously cast the same AoE version.
Yeah, you use AoE or you do single target. This one has a little bit of high-low mix-up. Some attacks you want to use because, it involves the dominant hand of the character. You've got combo potential depending on which move you're using. But if you're using a single target attack, you're probably going to use their super arts, like the Tornado Flame and Frost Breath are just better than Pyro Pummel or Hyper Elbow, some of the earlier moves. So that's a bit of a bummer. You eventually get to the point where you're just using the ones that are the strongest. But at least there's the promise that there's more going on here.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
you could redo this in a way that's a bit more nuanced.
Dynamic.
Yeah. There are the bones of a more dynamic and varied combat system, which is why I'm surprised no one's come back to Legaia and tried to do something with it.
I mean, even like we talked about it, but even the Grandia combat system got copied with Child of Light.
Yep.
The more nuanced, distinct JRPG combat systems have been scrapped in other games. Or scraped, I should say.
Yeah.
Except this one. Not this one.
Yeah. Grandia has been... Child of Light poached it, so did both of the Penny Arcade. Penny Arcade 3 and 4, they both poached it as well. Yeah, human visitors. I'm in Biran. This is the next town. You really surprised me. They're in the middle of training. I'll introduce you to Master Zopu. I love this sound effect of them punching. Stop right there. We have visitors. What a rare treat. That's enough training. Attend to your individual tasks. Go sweep. They're warrior monks, ZP. Welcome to the Biran Monastery. Let me get a good look at you. I'm Noah. Here's Vaughn. Pleased to meet you, old man. How dare you call Master Zopu old man? This young lady needs no ill will, Master Teacher. Stand aside. Yes, sir. He's going over there to brood. I see Vaughn and Noah. I am Zopu.
Such good names.
Your eyes are keen, and you have Seru. All right, then. Welcome. We welcome you here. Tonight we shall have a party in your honor. Until then, you may make yourselves at home inside the monastery. One guy wears blue, one guy wears red. And this guy's got evil eyes. Those things on your arm, are they Seru? Yes. So that's a Seru. I hear they give the wearer great strength. That's right. I want one of those Seru. I'm Songi. Pleased to meet you. If you have extra Seru, let me have it. Ha 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 ha. What a weirdo. I like that she actually says, what a weirdo.
So I think we can say there was a little bit of embellishment with this localization.
Yeah, probably. They do a good job of making sure that everything is conveyed. It might be a little bit of, you know, cultural translation.
Yeah.
They might have said, you know,
Do you think if you tried to make this game that you would want it to be turn-based, or would you want it to be, like, in real time? If you have a fighting game combat system, do you still want the rigid turns, or do you want it to be like Final Fantasy 12, like ad hoc in-world fight things? Like
I know to go to the big head Showtime dodo. I'm aware where the hidden items are. I like that it's menu-based, personally. I think putting in the inputs in real time could be a bit difficult. Can't go into the women's bedroom until later. There's a hidden item in there.
Oh.
But I can't get it yet.
Can you get orthopedic underwear?
You cannot get orthopedic underwear, but I think there's a healing leaf in there. What's your deal again? You're going to use all your skills to cook food for me. Thank you. Let's see what you've got. Ooh, wow. He's got way better items than he normally has. I got the platinum card, which means that some of these characters will now sell better items to me. You see, ZP, I qualified for a better credit card, so I've got better rewards now.
Isn't that how that works in real life?
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, I got the platinum card because I rummaged around a king's bedroom. So technically he had a platinum card.
Are you going to be rewarded by being in debt with better credit scores? 'Cause then that's going to be too real for me.
Yeah. Way to go. Way to spend beyond your means. You get an expanded credit limit, and you also get a better credit score, so you'll get more, you'll pay less interest. Arbitrary is here. He says he is watching whilst playing Hunt. Let's talk to my boy, Master Teacher. Master, what could Master Zopu be thinking to allow Seru like you onto the sacred soil of Biran? And then Songi's like, ah ha ha. The old-fashioned teachings of Biran may forbid the wearing of Seru, but I can become stronger quickly. You better believe I'm going to wear one. If you see an extra Seru, let me know in secret. When I get one, then watch out, Master Teacher. Ha 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 ha. Ambition. Unrestrained ambition. What's up, Master Eyebrows? Yes, I listened to the people. I listened to what they had to say. Sound check. Is something wrong with the sound?
Sound
check.
Hi.
Hello? Sound check. Is it not okay?
It. I thought it was okay. That was a joke.
Oh, the game is quiet? Yeah, I lowered the game volume a little bit to make it easier to hear the person I am talking to.
Hi, I'm a person.
I can raise the game volume a little bit.
Maybe a little bit. We're gonna get you this thumping, rad-ass music score.
Yep.
God damn. The music in this game is baller.
It is. This music's
interesting story to the person who like made the music to this game. They've done like over 100 compositions for movies and television shows.
Really?
Like I think it's Michiru Oshima who did the music for Full Metal Alchemist.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
So she is well known. I mean, she did this game. I think most people know her for Twilight Princess in terms of her video game credits, but most notably did all the music for Full Metal Alchemist. Like, actually Japanese Academy Award winning music composer. Oh, yeah. Right. Probably the other thing that she is known for is doing the music for Ico.
Oh, really?
PS2
wow.
Classic. Yeah, you know, one of the most iconic video games on the PS2.
Yeah, one of the most well regarded, for sure.
Very good musical score as well. Yeah. So, Legend of Legaia, then Arc the Lad 3,
Hell
then
yeah.
shot their shot with Ico, and then did Twilight Princess shortly after that.
Oh, Twilight Princess?
You know,
Hell yeah.
Yeah, Twilight Princess.
Uh-oh.
They've
Songy's
gone around the block.
up to no good.
Apparently they did some of the music to the Star Wars anime anthology series, Star Wars Visions. Which is interesting. But yeah, the massive credits, like, Ichiro Oshima has done a lot. So much so that Wikipedia refuses to, like, will only do selective credits for her.
Damn. I like how his arms are 3 polygons. 3 circles.
It really is interesting to see what launch era PS1 games look like and then end of the generation PS1 games look like.
Yeah.
It's bananas looking at like Final Fantasy VII in this game and then looking at Final Fantasy IX.
Yeah. They look like they were
on the same console.
Yeah, they look like they are on 2 completely separate consoles. Like this game does.
Chrono Cross also was a PS1 game, and
yeah. That's
I
the
mean,
mother of Vaughn's girlfriend.
Just, it's kind of bananas because we played both. We played games in the early side of things on the PS1. We've played mid-era PS1 games, and we played late era. It's insane how technologically advanced
like 4 years later
for that console got.
And it wasn't like the PS1 had a long life cycle. It came out in what, like 93, 94, if that?
Yeah.
And by the end of it, like 5 years later,
so 94, and if you're being generous, if you include the PS1, the actual like
PS1
smaller console, you know what I'm talking about.
The
PS1. So that gives it a console. That gives it 6 years. The actual original PlayStation 1 was like 94 to 96, 97. So like 3-4 years.
Yeah, it's bananas how much better they got.
And then, of course, you know, I mean, like, playing games like Suikoden, like, there were still developers that were doing those nice 16-bit 2D art.
Mm-hmm.
Like, fucking Castlevania Symphony of the Night is one of the greatest games ever made and is 2D. And Jeff talked about how when they did the first magazine scans of Symphony of the Night, it was... PlayStation was like, our Castlevania game's gonna be Symphony of the Night, and then the N64's Castlevania game was Castlevania 64, and the reaction was with consumers like, oh, look at that game, 2D, that looks like ass. Look at this, 3D, so awesome. Castlevania 64 is gonna be better. Turns out Castlevania 64 is like the worst game ever.
Oh, let me pull up Gala's arts. need to pull up my arts menu.
And yes, I am aware it's not called Castlevania 64. It's Castlevania.
So you can see here the arms, because Gala is not proficient with daggers, it is longer than the other 3 commands. So equipping him with a weapon that ups his strength that he's not proficient with actually makes him worse at executing.
Oh, so
moves.
he's just straight up a monk.
Yes.
Like, does
well, he
giving
uses
him
clubs.
armor also drop down stats? Because if that's full monk, where he's just like
No.
punch.
He's not full monk. It's that he's not good with knives. He's good with clubs and axes.
I was gonna say, is this like the Final Fantasy 1 monk? Where
No.
It's like, give them nothing, have them punch.
No. But you can see here, like, I can do a 3-hit combo that involves his arm, or I can do a 4-hit combo if it doesn't use that command.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, so, like,
So
it's
each
actually...
character has weapon proficiencies. Can
Yes.
they work out of those to gain new weapon proficiencies?
No.
Or are they stuck with, like, their innate...
They're stuck.
Okay.
Vaughn is good with swords and knives. Noah is good with knuckles and, like, tonfa. And Gala is good with clubs and axes.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I'm going to unequip him of this knife, because the knife will just make it so that he, even though it increases his strength, it means he can do fewer attacks. So fewer attacks. Actually, I think it's fine to leave the knife on, really, because he doesn't have that many attacks. Like, he doesn't have enough space at level 1 to even do combos. Ah, yes, this is the place. The mist generator. Mist is so thick, it's full of warped madness in the presence of evil. The mist is flowing from a strange castle beyond this valley.
Oh, no.
This valley is a passageway for the mist created by the mist generator. Terra, can't we go on ahead? I'm sorry, Noah. I know I'm a Rossaro, but I still don't have the strength now. I'm sorry, you need to do more missions before you get to go to the next spot. Then you can get through here with no problem. Who are you talking to? To Terra. A Seru? You could talk to Seru? Yeah, Terra's nice. She's a good Seru. You're so strange. You give me the creeps, both of you. But no matter. On, as Master Eyebrows has instructed us. I've never gone this way before. But I saw it in the speedrun. There's this Ivory Book that I can get. And the Ivory Book, I believe, allows me to get summons easier. So now, yeah, let me go here. Ivory Book. Increases magic accrual. So now it's easier for me to acquire new spells. Pretty cool, huh? And you saw the whole, like, Pokemon-esque, like, capture magic thing, right?
Yeah. I mean, this game basically starts with you combining with a magical spirit with each of your characters, so I guess it makes sense.
You can suck up the souls of the enemies you defeat and use them to cast spells.
Interesting.
Delicious, delicious souls.
So it's kind of like Final Fantasy VIII? Drawing stuff? Kind of?
Does Vaughn have
Except
any
I'm guessing you can't just refine cards to
No.
get those souls.
No. Let me see. Can I do any 5-hit combos with Vaughn? No. He's only got 3 and 4. And then 7-hit combos. So I guess I'll go with... Let's do this. Oh, you're very low on health.
He gon' die, and he's poisoned.
Well, this thing's gonna die. She deals like 400 damage now per attack.
We've definitely talked about this before, but that moment when you finally turn the corner on a JRPG, even if it's like temporary because the game's about to do its next level up with its combat, but that good feeling of, I have a one-up on everything that's around me right now is such a good feeling.
Yep. Healing shrooms.
Oh, yikes.
Get shroomed up. Gala's famous catchphrase, get shroomed up. Shrooms for life.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, Tornado Flame, it is kind of a shame that there are these, like, moves that are way better than the other ones. So, like, there's not necessarily a huge reason, unless you just don't have the AP to use some of the other moves. Which is kind of a bummer, but like I said, I can see a ton of ways you could improve upon this combat system, and maybe they did some of it in Legaia II. I've never played Legaia II.
I was told that Lagaya II is less good. A disappointing follow-up to a beloved game. And actually, did this game make noise when it came out, or was it like...
I don't think so. I don't think it got a, like, greatest hits. And it seemed like anything that came out on the PlayStation got a greatest hits version.
Well, I mean, this was the time, like, the PlayStation 1, even though it had that reputation of being the place for role-playing games, because sure as fuck wasn't the Nintendo 64.
No.
There was a lot of JRPGs that just came and went, and then we never spoke about them.
What is
Like, I don't know who's talking about Legend of Dragoon, other than sick perverts.
I don't know what select attack... I saw another person change that. I want to know what that does. But yeah, you are correct. Not very many people are talking about Legend of Dragoon. Okay, let me find...
And it's not like it got any better with the PS2. Like, the PS2 is the cockroach that would never die. People were making games for that thing until, like, halfway into the 360 PS3 era.
Mm-hmm.
But then those people just started porting those games that they intended for the PS2 for the PSP, because, man, if you want to talk about a platform that has a really weirdly in-depth catalog, the PSP and PS Vita.
Yes. Ooh, sweet. Okay. So let's have you...
It was a running joke, but I think people really don't realize how long entire studios were supporting the Vita.
Oh, no, they do not. For certain.
Like, the PSP, people like the PSP, even though it had that one nipple analog stick where you had to make the claw hand to play anything that was, like, third-person action-y on it.
Well,
And
I
it was
mean,
awful.
part of that was just that people just kept trying to make weird third-person action games. Okay, so I want to do...
And Monster Hunter. The claw hand you had to make to play Monster Hunter.
Yes,
Bad.
but like, don't play Monster Hunter.
I don't know. You don't need to be so close-minded about other games that people like.
I don't like Monster
Anyways, the PS Vita, though. Just some of the weirdest shit.
Yes.
Like, an amazing catalog that doesn't get enough credit for its catalog.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, it's because a lot of the games that are in its catalog are, like, obscure JRPGs from tiny little studios. Or video,
Or,
yeah.
like, tactical role-playing games that are, like, tactics of... Like,
Yep.
Man. Anyways, yeah, I just if Sony does make some sort of like Game Pass equivalent, I hope that games like Legend of Legaia are on that platform because I would fucking be down to clown.
Damn
Except
it.
I wouldn't because console availability is still totally fucked.
Yes. I don't know why Legend of Legaia, which was a Sony first-party exclusive, did not make the jump to being playable fucking anywhere.
But yeah, I think this is a perfect game like this and like your Magic Pangles.
Yes.
These are perfect games that I feel like would benefit the most from some sort of Sony
Re-release.
PlayStation Game Pass at the least.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, the PS2 and the PS1 era, they really only ported a few of those to more modern consoles, and I don't quite understand why.
And those ports were of a questionable quality sometimes. I mean, we talked about when we were playing Chrono Cross, like the last time you can legally play, the most modern, legally playable release of Chrono Cross is the PS3, PS1 Classics release.
Yeah.
And it's one of... What you will, what you want about Chrono Cross, but that game is important. There are parts of that game that are really, really ambitious. And the fact that I have to go all the way back to a PS3 PSN release to get a legal modern copy of that game is bananas.
It is. It sucks. It's like, why? You know? It's not like the Chrono Cross is a reviled game.
Quantity, yeah. Well, and some would say
Well,
a little bit.
it might be a little reviled. Really depends on how much you played Chrono Cross.
But anyways, no, yeah, it's just... We live in a world, Gino, where...
Come on, get up. Yeah!
The company that has the best backwards compatibility is Microsoft, and never in a million years would I have predicted that.
Yeah, I mean, it's because Microsoft just basically was always on a PC architecture, whereas Sony and Nintendo changed their architecture. Like, Sony in the PS3 era changed their architecture, and then Nintendo is just every single fucking system. They do weird nonsense that makes it hard to make things backwards compatible, like controllers that don't work the same way, you know. Remove. Let's give Vaughn the Ivory Book.
Yeah,
now.
I mean, like, Xbox has been using x86 since the dawn of time.
Yes.
It turns out that might have been a smart decision.
Yep. Yeah, staying on the same architecture means that porting things is not that hard, whereas Sony and Nintendo both have been like, what if this controller did something, you know, had motion controls? What if this controller had a weird trident shape? What if this one was completely weird? Like, you know, Sony and Microsoft have basically been like, okay, our controller's been the same for damn near 30 years now.
Way to make me feel my age and reminding me that
30 years.
a lot of my childhood consoles are like, it's been 30 years.
Yep. Yeah, it turns out if you have the same architecture and structure for 30 years, you build a lot of strength into that architecture. You become good at it. Whereas Nintendo, like, every time, they're like, what if we reinvented the entire thing? The Wii and the Switch are probably the two most similar. Well, I guess the SNES and the NES and the SNES are pretty similar.
Yeah, that was just an 8 to 16-bit jump.
Yeah.
And then, of course, a less than great jump in terms of audio fidelity, because everybody needed their MIDI bullshit.
Your obsession with the SNES sound card,
It's just...
I don't understand.
You must have never... Did you not play Genesis games? Did you not?
I mean,
was this before you?
I didn't have a Genesis.
The Genesis versus... Oh, okay.
I didn't have a Genesis or a Super Nintendo. So I really have no dog in the fight. I just never have been a huge, like, sound card person. Like, I can only barely tell if the sound card is bad. Stop licking, my friend. Okay, I can't hit this guy high. Got it.
Oh, man.
What?
Have you been following the Intellivision Amico?
I've heard of this.
Oh,
I've heard of the
God.
Amico. What's wrong with the Amico?
So apparently Ars Technica did a teardown of their Amico and wanted to, like, figure out what is the actual cost of the console, looking at its spare parts, which they do for everything. They've done it for the Xbox Series S and Series X. They've done it for the PS5. Like, this is standard technology content, right?
Yes.
So the Amico is being sold for... I forget. I think it's, like, oddly expensive. But basically, they found out that they're using, like, cell phone parts, and it's about $100. And they're selling the thing for $249 with an additional price of $3 to $10 at launch per month to be online. So it's about $300 for what amounts to, like, a high-end smartphone.
Wait, what do you mean be online? Like, is it on a
So
cell phone network?
It's some sort of online Xbox Live, and then also some sort of Game Pass game. But anyways, so Intellivision is now angry that they've been called out for having basically cell phone architecture and an OS that would kind of run on an iPhone in their hardware. Because their whole thing is that there's going to be, the controllers are like smartphones, and there's going to be no latency on it, which is total bullshit. There's always latency in every video game ever. Even with wired, like, controllers, there's a latency with when you click the A button and when the character does the attack, right?
Yes, always.
So, yeah, it's just, that's how the electrical current moves. But anyways. Yes. So... Ars Technica does a teardown and finds out that the parts are about, like, $95 to $100 generously, and the current pre-order price is $250 for an Amico.
Which, I mean, honestly, that sounds like the markup that a normal... Well, actually, that's not the markup that a normal high-end console would have. That's probably similar to a Switch, I would guess. In terms of markup.
A 100% profit is a little unusual.
Yeah, I mean...
And I get that the counter... getting chips... Getting computer chips...
Right now?
Is rough. Is, like, bananas. It's not fun. Like, the Playdate, which is something that, me and Marino both pre-ordered a Playdate. And we got our emails, so I think Marino's is going to get his this year, and I'm probably going to get mine in 2023. Like, it's a bummer, but it's like, welcome to the current situation with the supply chain. But man, Tommy Tallarico, though. Tommy Tallarico's a weirdo.
Yeah.
That guy's... I don't know if he's drinking the Kool-Aid or, like, the Kool-Aid tastes good and he doesn't know how to stop. But, boy. And then, one of their supposed system sellers is using, like, Unity assets without paying the license.
Oh, that's not good.
It's fucking great.
Okay, Noah's got a new weapon.
But basically, the Ars Technica called bullshit on all of their claims of no latency, because if you're using cell phone parts...
Yeah.
This thing is going to be a sluggish nightmare thing.
Probably.
It's gonna be great. Also, Rory posted a fireside chat. Apparently, he's gonna do like state of the site features on Giant Bomb.
Sweet.
Which is cool. Anyways, so I mean, I got you here. The other thing I want to talk to you about: have you decided what you want to play for the community endurance run? Because I don't want to play dog shit like Final Fantasy II.
I have not yet. I've been batting around the idea of playing Magic Pendule again. I was batting around.
You should go for the world record. You could do it.
Like actually, like legitimately, do it. Like record it in the way that will be respected by the speedrunning.
Isn't there one
people.
speedrun? Like there's not a lot of speedruns for Magic Pendule.
It's literally me. It's just me. It's a category of me against me.
Yeah, it's not in speedrun.com's database. You would literally be.
I just need to show up.
You need to show up. And you are the only person who's analyzed that game. Like, you are the guy.
It's me.
It's you. Okay.
It's a category of me against me. My previous stream, I did not do the. Oh damn it! It ran away. You son of a bitch. I wanted to capture its soul. I need to capture its soul. Yeah, so, like, I'm the only person, I think, with the knowledge to speedrun that game right now. I don't think that it's anything, you know, that someone else would not be able to figure out, necessarily. Right. But right now I've got a leg up because I've tried. So I could do that again. Like, you know, world record, let's go. I could also... I thought about playing this game, but obviously I'm playing it now. I've also thought about...
How long is this game, by the way? Is it a 20 to 30 hour experience, or is it longer?
I mean, I saw a speed run of it goes for like 9 hours, a speed run. But I'm obviously not going to be capable of speed running it. And the way that you speed run this game is like you play a slot machine.
And you get lucky.
You don't get lucky.
Cool.
You like it's a precision, like the reels go and you have to time it just right. You get like a ton of money in the slot machine and you basically break the monetary system. That's how you speedrun this game.
Interesting. I might I don't know what I want to play. I might.
What?
I might do something. I might play a thing.
What?
I might play Lightning Returns. I have to figure it out. I have to start finishing the fight. I might do it.
I was considering doing FF8 because if I actually want to like raise the maximal amount of money, like I think that's how I would do it.
No, the way you raise a maximal amount of money is you court a natural gas tycoon and tell him that you can write this off on your taxes. Please give me your money.
Well, I'm saying if for me getting the maximal amount of donations from viewers, it's usually me playing an FF game. I mean, we can all. You don't like when we do races, though. Yes.
I'm just not. I'm the opposite of a competitive person. But I'm slow as steady. The only game I like can even moderately play super fast are like RTS campaigns. There's no way I can convince you to play a real-time strategy game.
I mean, you could convince me to play a real-time strategy game. I'm not opposed to them. I just haven't played one in a while. I played StarCraft 2 until they basically shut that down. Would you call it a soft shutdown?
I think, though, that our Final Fantasy II thing made me realize that there's a limit to how much you want to play a game that's actively bad.
Mm-hmm.
It was just that time where you and I were just completely... Like, we stopped saying funny things about the game because there's only so much you can say about game bad, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh no, this Genesis tree is dead. It's too far gone for us to help it. We came out here for nothing. Let's go back to the monastery. Oh. Look. There's an egg in this tree. Time to pull the egg out of this tree.
I wonder whom this spiritual creature will meld with after we've had 2 characters get melded with spirits from trees. Gosh golly, isn't there one person in this party who hasn't, like, mind melded with a spirit, an Eden tree spirit?
Yep, well, take good care of this egg until it hatches, and then attaches to fucking arm.
Oh gosh golly, the arm that he uses to fight, his preferred style of fighting?
Uh-oh. Something's happened.
What happened?
There was a loud banging sound. Oh no, there's smoke coming out of the monastery. Smoke him if you got him.
Did someone create a war crime? Did someone call... Is a war crime in a JRPG?
Someone blew up the monastery. We need to go back and figure out what happened. The monastery may be in trouble.
I've never heard of war crimes being committed in a JRPG before. What is this? This is revolutionary.
I used an escape rope to escape from this dungeon. This game basically has escape ropes. They're called Doors of Light.
That's cool. That's cool. I mean, playing all of these older games for Off the Deep End made me realize, like, my least favorite thing about old school JRPG design was, like, the, shucks, you got to level 3 of 4, but you gotta turn around because you just didn't quite make it this time. Time to go back, heal up, buy all the stuff, and try again. That Final Fantasy 1, Final Fantasy 2 dungeons.
Yeah, the backtracking.
See.
Backtracking sucks. I like when I wish that they just kicked you out of the dungeon instead of making you use an item to escape the dungeon, but it's definitely better than, you know, having no option to fast travel. I don't need to fight you guys. Deuces. Okay, the next time I go back to Biran, I just need to pick up a Guardian Water and then go to the other forest. There's also some magics that I can pick up while I'm here.
Interesting.
Oh, there's another thing about this game. Some of the summons you use, or magics, they actually care about where enemies are on the field, like in a 3D sense. Oh no, all the monks are dead. Or dying. So, like, there's a monster that I'll be able to get here, potentially. That, it has, like, a laser beam from its butt. And it kind of shoots this sweeping laser. And if it hits multiple enemies, if they're, you know, if you line it up right, depending on where your character is, that's where it starts shooting, and then it shoots at the enemy. If there are other enemies in the way, it'll hit all of them. Same thing with, like, there's one that's like a giant fist, and it flies forward, punches, and then slams down. So if the enemies are all clustered together, it will get a multi-hit and hit all 3. Oh no, Maya. She's a Seru monster now. Oh, if you take the Seru off, she'll die. If you rip it off her like that, she'll die. I don't understand. Listen carefully. You should never remove the Seru from a human when the mist is around. Seru and the human are one. If you do that, they'll die. There's only way to free a human who's turned into a Seru monster, and that's to get rid of the mist. There's a Genesis tree. Go get it. If you want to awaken Maya, go to the tree. Then she'll turn back into a human. I would never lie to you, Noah. I took over the mind of a wolf so that I could talk to you. I would never lie to you.
Very trustworthy.
See, that theater? That critter. That's the one that, when I get it, it turns into, like, this sweeping laser attack.
Cool.
Aha! Okay, I don't like the command thing that I did. Oh. I'm gonna turn it back. So, get him. Get that one. Alright, let's try to absorb these. Hyper Arts. Tornado Flame. Power Punch. Nope. Didn't kill it. Pepper Spray. Ah, killed it.
I'm definitely really enjoying what I've seen of the combo system. Like this kid, kind of.
It looks cool.
Got a rhythm to it. It's got a rhythm to it.
Yeah. And, like, being able to have that combination where, you know, the last attack of one move can be the first attack of another, and so you can string moves together. It looks cool. Oh, the unfinished letter of Maya to my daughter May. Today Vaughn came to Biron and told me about Juno. I was so shocked, and I shed many tears. Then I think of how much lonely you must be. My heart breaks with grief. When you were still young, I left you and came to Biron. I left because of the mist. Please forgive me for leaving you in Rimelm. Vaughn says I can return with him, but there's something that keeps me here at Biron Monastery a little longer. Please forgive me. There are two orphans here, Songi and Gala. They're about your age. They're like sons to me. My obligations here compel me to stay. You must think that I don't care for you, but that is not true. I know that the people of the village are supporting you. Please forgive. Please forgive? Forgive who? The letter ends here.
Please forgive. That might be a syntax grammar error. Please forgive.
Oh, no, it's because she got turned into a monster before she could finish writing it.
Oh, okay.
The women are in the kitchen. They are safe. We did the only noble thing and sent the women to the kitchen. Ugh. Alright, I'm gonna heal my my party up a little bit. Get my MP up so that I can go to the next area at full strength. So what game are y'all playing for Off the Deep End now? Dragon Warrior?
No. Quest for Glory, which, Jeff is being a big poo-poo pee-pee head. It's like, oh, you picked a game with adventure game point-and-click mechanics. I don't like it. It's so hard. Can't use intuition to play games. I don't like it. I'm old man. You can follow a guide. No, everything you play shouldn't require a guide. Duh. I like Dragon Quest, though.
I mean, you know that you do the same thing about the playing without a guide and then hating it with most of the games you've had to play.
No comment. Arbitrary likes Quest for Glory because he's a person of culture
and taste. Ah, damn it. I want to absorb your powers.
We all are hypocrites about certain things of video game design. You like... You've said conflicting things about CRPG quest designs and then said, I like it when it's like this in Final Fantasy IX. It's like, Gino, Chocobo Hot and Cold is dog shit. It plays awful. It's terrible. No, it's the best thing to happen since
not
Triple
really.
Triad.
No, that's not true. I acknowledge that it is not very good. I just am now so used to it that I can get through it pretty quickly so it doesn't bug me anymore.
There's a term for that. It's called Stockholm Syndrome.
I mean, like, I think it's mostly that, oh, right, she's the person who heals me. It's more that you gain skill at something, and then it stops being as big of a problem. Like, say, for example, I was forced to chop wood in order to heat my home.
Yes.
It'd be a pain in the ass to do that, but if I get better at it, if I
in the game,
if I get
chop that wood
better at chopping wood, it becomes less of a hassle. But the alternative is my home being cold, so I do it anyway. Just like that, in Chocobo Hot and Cold, I want all the items that it gives me. I recognize that it is not especially good, but look, I want the items, so I do it anyway.
Anyways, but yeah.
Oh no, there's no answer. He seems to be dead.
Quest for Glory is good. Quest for Glory is good. Anyways, after that, I think we're gonna do... I forget. We're supposed to do some sort of grab bag idea, and then we're gonna... We got a lot of user requests to fucking process.
You do?
Yeah, like, Gatsu says he wants us to play Nox. You joke that you want to play this game with us.
It's true.
I don't know. We got stuff to play this year.
Yep. For sure.
It's gonna be an interesting year for Deep Listens.
It is.
We're gonna play a real weird group of games if everything holds up. It's gonna be a fun year.
Get up. Get up and... Yes, there we go. I got theater, so now I just need Gimmerd for Noah.
I definitely hope that we play a lot of games that, regardless of how old or new, big and small they are, we make the effort to play games that maybe no one's ever heard before.
Yeah, I looked.
Or
Webbed,
very few people.
Webbed is a game that I think we are the only coverage of Webbed, pretty much. We're close to the only coverage of Webbed on the internet. Once we actually get the Webbed podcast together, which should be shortly. I'm just trying to get that last spell for Noah. And then I'm going to heal, and then I'm... Okay, cool. Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. Get him. Get fucked. Yeah, I don't know, like, exactly what I should play for the fundraiser. Like, oh, there we go. And I got it. Like, there are a lot of good options. A lot of gimmicks.
Yeah. Yeah.
I kind of want to, I actually, the first year COVID happened, I had created a escape room concept.
Right.
And we weren't able to do it because, COVID happened. I couldn't have people over.
Yeah, think about that. Like, I don't want to make it too dark, but this is the third year where we've had to change our plans because of COVID.
Yeah, so I like have a design for an escape room that I just never was able to do. So we could always just like do that. Like, now that there are rapid tests and a bunch of people have vaccinations, I wouldn't be opposed to having like 2 people over to do the escape room. And, Voidburger is a escape room aficionado.
I've done escape rooms as well. They're fun.
They are.
You should do an escape room if you feel comfortable. But you need a group of at least 5 people.
I need at least a few people, and then I need to rig it again, and like I was expecting I'd have like 2 people do it last time, or 2 or 3. So we could, come up with something. now there's no reason for me to fight these guys anymore. So let's get out of here. I've absorbed their souls, so now I don't need to fight them anymore. Oh, do I need to go back, or does he? Yeah, there we go. Everyone's either dead or changed into Saru. This can't be true. Sangi did this? How could he have done this? What was he thinking? I have to talk to Sangi, figure out why he did this, but... Are you going to East Foz Forest? Yes. Okay. Yes, I'll take you with us. Gala sucks. He sucks in the early game so bad. Can't use magic. It's just a burden. He gets better. I think he's the magic user. Vaughn is balanced. Noah's physical attacks. Gala is magic. Because he's the slowest.
In the upcoming episode of Off the Deep End, Jeff has some strong words for what he believes is the worst JRPG companion in video game history.
Who?
It's Dragon Quest II. It's a prince of something. Prince of Cannock. Right. The Prince of Cannock. Like, the absolute piece of shit, apparently. Like, the worst character. The worst. Like, so, apparently, the Prince of Cannock is so bad that in official art for Dragon Quest II, it's one character carrying his coffin to a battle because even by the time they released Dragon Quest 3 or 4, they had realized that the way they programmed the Prince of Cannock, he was bad.
He's bad, like he sucks in combat or something, or is he just like a terrible racist
So he's supposed to
caricature?
be the support character, like the buffer, debuffer, healer, but as with any case where we've given you the support character, he can't equip the best armor, he can't equip the best weapon, and he's the second character in your party, and we've just given you DPS, like damage per second, and then also he has the worst stat growth, and it's all for defense and not his health.
Cool.
So his defense goes up, but his health points goes up by 2. Plus 6 to defense. So, like, the stat growth is completely fucked.
Cool.
But yeah, if you want to get Jeff angry about something highly specific, ask him how he feels about the Prince of Cannock.
Oh, sure. If I like anything, it's getting Jeff upset about something highly specific. So are you actually open-minded about 6 versus 9?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I feel like the second half of this game is not great.
Of FF6?
Like, genuinely, I find it's interesting to see an open-world game in a 16-bit game, but at the same time, I just feel like the game lost its pace.
Yeah.
Completely in the World of Ruin. And that's kind of a bummer, because the biggest strength of Final Fantasy VI, when I enjoyed it the best, was when it was just hitting you one set piece after another, and this breezy pace. You know, missteps here and there, but, like, getting all of the characters back kind of sucked. Getting them all back, like, as a team, I shouldn't say sucked. It's still a good time. Like, don't get me wrong. It's better than, like you said, worst case scenario, it's number 2.
Yes.
And, like, it's party recruitment after the World of Ruin is better than, like, the party recruitment in 7, 8. Well, 8
8 doesn't have it.
Characters.
You just get them all.
But, like, 7...
Yeah.
It's ambitious.
It's less obtuse than, you know, it's less obtuse than 7. You don't need a guide. No, well, you do. You do need a guide, I think, for 8. For 6. You 100% need a guide to know how to get everyone in 6.
It's just I feel like it's for me personally. It's going to come down to I might boot up my save of Final Fantasy IX to replay 9 because I remember not liking the other than like the set pieces. Like I did not like how the last quarter of 9 played, especially that Necron boss. Like the boss rush before Necron.
You mean the final boss? You don't like fighting
the
final boss?
The entire combat and like all of those like late game dungeons in 9 kind of were bad. Like I don't like the way that the infantry looks and how it's like the same monotonous like color design.
You don't like the infantry?
I don't like the infantry, and I don't like the... I remember at the time not liking the whole science fiction plot twist of 9. But I have to see... I might replay 9. God damn it. I hate that I am saying this, but I might have to replay 9. Especially compare the ends of those games, because it's really going to come down to which game do I think has a better end. Because
well,
the start of 6 I like more, but... And then outside of that weird part where you're playing cards, I think I like the middle of 9 better than 6.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's fair. The 6 has a strong end, I think. My only complaint with 6's ending is that I think that it's got... How do I put it? A lot of the characters just lack the depth that the characters in 9 tend to have. They just don't have as much going on, quite simply put.
Oh, well. I mean, I found the characterization to be rewarding enough. It's just...
It's kabuki theater, you know? Like, the characters are cutouts. They, like, are a stereotype. They are an archetype. With maybe, like, one little twist in their origin story. But... that's fine. Like, you're allowed to have characters that are built that way. And so, because they went with that approach, you feel like you know every character, but they just tend not to have as much depth. Like, Shadow, say what you will about Amarant, Shadow and Amarant are the same character, just Shadow barely talks at all. Like, he's a backstory and not much else.
Yes, you are right.
He doesn't even really...
Just, I don't like Amarant as a character.
Yeah, but Shadow's the same, except even more annoying, because he, like, Amarant leaves you for one dungeon. Shadow can leave you at any time in multiple instances.
But at least 6 doesn't do that bullshit of, like, you got one character. Like, my least favorite part of 9, mechanically speaking, other than... I'm not going to have this fight here, but I don't like the gem system. All of those boss battles where it's one character versus one character, like the Amarant versus Zidane battle or the Sea Lion in the snow battle.
Those are the 2 times that the game does that.
Yeah, but they are bad.
The Amarant fight's easy.
Bad.
The Sea Lion fight's hard, but the Amarant fight is easy.
Say this, I've already said this, like, I still think 10's better than both of these games.
10's good.
Still think.
Boy, the Thunder Plains suck, though.
I thought you were going to mention the Comlands. I thought you hated the Comlands more.
Comlands also suck. Both of them suck. Yeah, there are some lulls in 10. 10's not a bad game, though. I mean, we have it, what, 3rd? 2nd on the list, I think? I'll have to look at the list to know.
I feel like we're equipped, at least at this point, to make, like, worst Final Fantasy. We still need to play 3, apparently.
Yes.
We need to make a worst, like, dungeons. Like, once we play 3, I think that we are officially equipped to make at least a preliminary worst dungeons in Final Fantasy history list. Because apparently there's a dungeon in 3 that forces you to be in order to progress it, all of your characters need to have the mini status effect, and you have to just live with these characters that have the mini debuff.
I see.
I don't know if that sounds better or worse than Oliver, which is, I actually think is... If you were to make at least a top 10 list, even though it is a good game overall, Oliver definitely needs to be on the top 10 list of worst dungeons ever.
You don't like Oilvert?
Oliver with, like, splitting the party apart.
Oh,
and
I
then
like
you
that.
have to deal with Garnet, who doesn't want to speak, and so you have a character that's just doing nothing.
I like that they have the magic. They have the
whole,
magic
like,
dungeon and the...
white, black, blue, sword, magic stuff. And you have to pick between Zidane, Steiner, Frey, and Amarant.
Yeah.
And then, of course, yeah, that's when Garnet is, like, not doing anything and has been enfeebled. Oh, it's the worst.
Well, I mean, part of it is that the physical stuff tends to not be that hard because by that point I've got Amarant's good weapons for me, and the magic part's really easy.
Oh, yeah, and this is where you point out, well, if you got the blue magic for
Level 5 death.
Quina just will kill everything, and you're
Yep.
fine.
Yep.
It's like, I didn't do that, so no.
Yep. Quina can auto kill any of the enemies in that dungeon.
All right. So
they
like,
just delete them.
I
You just gotta have Quina eat a whale zombie, and then that dungeon's trivial.
All right, Gino.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like that section is
I just
as
didn't
frustrating.
like that whole Desert Palace Oliver like dynamics. Like, I guess you figure out the puzzle. The Desert Palace at least has all of those bullshit puzzles that involve those hidden passageways, and they suck. Like, unless you are following a guide, like finding those hidden passageways in the Desert Palace, actively bad.
Yep. I think, or at least it's hard. It's a pain in the ass. Please absorb. Yeah.
And because of the way that Olivert and Desert Palace works, all of your spellcasters go to the Desert Palace, which means you have your weakest characters there.
Yeah, but I mean they designed the dungeons so that you have all physical for Oilvert, and then you have all magic for Desert Palace. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I can still only do 5 moves here.
Yeah, I was not a fan of that.
That's fine. Though I think that 6, when you split the party and then you have the Just Lock party, or the Cyan and Sabin party.
Oh, are you talking about like Kefka's Tower?
No, early game. Early game. When remember after the Ultros fight, the party gets split in 3. Terra gets a full party. Sabin's by himself, and Locke is by himself. Like the Sabin section, when you go to the Phantom Train. Sorry, excuse me. If Shadow abandons you, which he can do, like that section sucks.
To me. Yeah, which happened to me. Trust me, I am aware.
Yeah, like the fact that like one of your characters can just say "fuck off" and then leaves, like that is infuriating as well.
I'm trying to think of like my least favorite dungeons in Final Fantasy. So 8 has the Diedrichstrick Prison. I think that's the worst dungeon in 8. I just think it's boring, and I realize there's a optimized way to play the Diedrichstrick Prison, and it's not necessarily hard. It's just monotonous and dull.
So the thing about 8 is that by the time you are in dungeons in 8, generally speaking, you have encounter none. Like many of what would have been the most frustrating dungeons.
But even then, the Diedrichstrick Prison is just not fun, going up and down and dealing with the broken up parties.
Oh, I agree. Just you swap your junctions over and over and over again because
it's just such a pain in the ass.
Yeah, like you're running around swapping junctions because your parties just keep getting swapped. Which is
that
annoying.
But is that better or worse than the Temple of the Ancients in 7?
Oh, it's better than the Temple of the Ancients by far, I think.
The Temple of the Ancients might be the worst PS1 era dungeon.
That dungeon is hard to look at.
There's the labyrinth at the start of it, right?
Yep.
And then there's the weird, like, tunnels and, like, boulder part. And then there's the clock puzzle.
Yep.
There's that weird bit with the toxic frogs and the...
Yep.
Bosses are the red dragon, which is not the hardest. And then it has the Demon's Gate.
Yep.
Which is hard. Then after 7, 8, and then, like I said, I think that the Desert Palace is... Nah, there's some... The first bit with the Iffa is definitely harder than the second time you go to the Iffa.
I never found the Iffa that hard because that section, all of the enemies in that area die to life, healing spells, or what is the gold needles, whatever cures stone in FF9. All of the enemies are auto-killed by healing magics of various types.
Right.
So there's gimmicks.
Sure.
There's gimmicks for how to win those fights. So I didn't mind that much, but it is a weird environment. Like, it's dark. It's hard to tell where you're supposed to go sometimes because of how dark it is.
What are some other bad Final Fantasy? Fuck. How could I forget the cloister puzzles in 10?
Oh yeah, that was another
it's
thing.
my favorite.
We have 10 as
after saying.
just a reminder.
10's my favorite.
We have 10 as number 2 on the list. Like, we have it very high.
It's either the ice.
Oh shit! I forgot to equip.
Cloister, where you can accidentally reset the entire puzzle and have to do it over again,
Yeah.
or it's that one in Bevel that's the neon pink and blue metal contraption where it's hard to tell where you're going. And then also just the very nature of the cloisters, where if you're not getting the spheres, then you can't get the next, like, one of the best summons in the game.
Yeah, if you don't get the sphere in the first, like, 3 hours of the game, you then can't get the best summon.
Or you can, you just gotta do the dark espers, or not espers. The
Aeons.
The dark aeons, which require you to basically make your characters max level.
Yeah.
But we say all this, and I think we're forgetting how bad those Final Fantasy 1 and 2 dungeons were.
Oh yeah, remember that dungeon where, like, everything just fucking did paralysis to you, and you just stood there and died?
That was the Chaos Cave and, like, the Earth Cave in Final Fantasy 1, where it's like everyone does paralysis and it's like, I died.
You just sit there. You just sit there and die.
And that final dungeon in Final Fantasy 2, where it's like Pandemonium, I think it was, right?
Or the dungeon where you have Edward.
Sure.
And he just dies instantly. Like, I feel like you have to grade on a curve for the early game ones.
I don't know, man. Like, you remember how Pandemonium in Final Fantasy 2 had that, like, second to last level where it's like a labyrinth, like a looping matrix, and you can get lost and never be able to solve it if you're not careful?
Oh,
then it also spawns those Black Knights that can just kill you.
Don't get me
even
wrong.
If you're...
Some of these are bad. I'm just saying, like, of the games that are actually good games, like, some of these are bad games, period.
Sure.
Right, I wanted to take...
And I think that even though we have Final Fantasy 13 as the lowest ranked game, it's like, I'm trying to think what is the actual... It's probably Teijin's Castle. Castle with the weird snake dragon monster that you have to go up and down and, like, put orbs into things.
Teijin's Castle. Which game is this from?
This is 13. This is the castle after Grand Pulse.
Oh, yeah, that sucked.
The one with the statues.
Yeah.
Then you have to make the statue fight the dragon thing.
Yeah, that sucked shit. I hated that. I forgot that existed. I wiped it from my brain.
And I mean, a couple years ago we did 12, and there was the Great Crystal. That was bad. Everyone seems to hate the Great Crystal, but though.
In which one?
12.
Yeah.
The Great Crystal, the giant
yeah.
yellow amber level where it's impossible to know where you're going.
And the Pharos Lighthouse sucks too.
Oh, right. The Pharos Lighthouse. A lot of people complain about the Via Infinito in 10-2, but it's, like, completely optional. You don't have to go there.
The 10-2 one or the 10-1?
10-2.
Okay, yeah.
The 10-1 one is, yeah, fine.
That's another one where they split up your party, but, I mean, the dungeon's just not that hard, so it's fine.
So far, it seems like the level design in this game has been basic for a PS1 era game.
Yeah, it's very...
Legend of Legaia.
Very much so. Let me...
I wonder if that was by design because they had to put so much resources into these animations and these inputs.
I mean, I think it's just good for the game in general. Like, I don't need to be doing crazy exploration if the encounter rate's going to be this high and you're not going to let me turn it off. Here we go. Yeah, if you're not gonna let me turn off random encounters, like, for sure go with this direction. Make it so that I'm not getting lost all the time, for sure. Gala's moves are cool looking. I like Noah's the most. She's got some real float like a butterfly stuff going on.
A glass cannon, as they would say.
Yes. Gala's moves look like they hurt. They look like they hurt him and the enemy. Oof. That's a lot of damage. Yeah, I mean, I think that 6... It's gonna be an interesting discussion where we come down on 6 versus 9.
I'm just surprised. I mean, when we first met Jeff, he said that the fight he wanted to have was for tactics. I'm surprised that he's having this fight about 6.
It'll be interesting. When we get to tactics, I'll be interested to see where we put it. Because tactics is good, but I remember disliking playing some of tactics.
See, that was my point. I'm willing to entertain people who have constantly told me that tactics is the best story, like the best written Final Fantasy game.
It's a very well written game.
But it's super long, and it is very easily, like, the balance. It might have one of the worst late game, mid game balance arcs that I've ever seen in a Final Fantasy game.
Yeah,
because you can just straight up break that game sideways, almost as fast as Final Fantasy VIII, but not quite. Like, you have a geomancer that's leveling the earth to instantly kill fucking, like, or an arithmetician that just instantly kills characters, and then, like, the combat becomes completely irrelevant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Supposedly one of the best stories. I just have never taken the time to finish it.
Yeah, it's
long.
It is long. That's the thing about it. The Gaizam is the more dangerous of these. And let's do a special art that I haven't done yet. These all hit high. The ones that I haven't done yet all hit high, and I don't want to hit high because these enemies are low to the ground. I really wish Gala could learn spells at this point. Yeah, I think also, like, you can see how much 9 learned from 6. The Doma...
9 learned from literally every video game.
Yeah.
Every game in the Final Fantasy franchise.
Yeah.
I think that's part of why I might lean towards 6 is because I think I respected being an innovator rather than a codifier of tropes. Yeah, I don't know.
Did you play 6 with a guide, or did you do it all freehand?
I don't. I play it up to a certain degree without a guide, and then it's like, okay, well, you know, I'm here. There's hidden goodies here. Is anything here worth it? I just don't like playing old school JRPG dungeons without a guide. I just don't see the appeal of, I walked in this one direction, got to a dead end, now I need to turn around and deal with another 3 or 4 random encounters. Like, I don't see the appeal of that.
Yeah, like, what I would say about 9 versus 6, I don't know, what's the name of the town that, like, it's vagrants, and so they're evil? And so you get encounters in this town?
Oh, right. That's... Fuck. That's the one where you're jumping back and forth, right?
Yeah. Where you
city.
find Terra.
Right. That is... I fucking forgot. What is that?
Well, that town. That town, if you don't...
The Cultist Tower? Or
not the Cultist Tower. The one... It's north of the place with the auction house.
Right. I forgot.
But you know what I'm talking about.
You know what? Fuck. Can we talk about how, like, the Cultist Tower is actually maybe a top 10, like, worst dungeon ever made?
If you don't have random encounters turned off, it sure is. Magic only. Bullshit. Which of his moves? Right, head splitter. Yeah, I would say, like, if you don't have a guide in Zozo, that's it. If you don't have a guide in Zozo, that was why I stopped playing Final Fantasy VI the first time. I got to World of Ruin, and then I went to Zozo, and, like, there were puzzles that needed to be solved, and I didn't know how to do it, because I just didn't know where to go, because you have to talk to all these NPCs, and I didn't know about the Moogle Charm, because the Moogle Charm is literally hiding in... Like, it's one of the most important items in the whole damn game, and you have to, like, re-recruit Mog in World of Ruin, and then find this charm hiding behind him in an unmarked wall, and that's how you get the Moogle Charm. And so, because I didn't know that because I didn't have a guide, or I wasn't using a guide at the time, I just gave up on Zozo because the encounter rate was so high and I didn't know where to go. Which, like, 7, 8, 9, like, those games were from a different era in a lot of ways, where you generally didn't get lost knowing where to go. Like, there was usually only one place to go. And
I will say I did get lost a lot in Final Fantasy IX in certain environments.
But in dungeons, right?
Yes.
But not, like, on the world map going, where the hell do I go?
That sometimes happened when I did the Chocobo missions, but yeah, sure, I see what you're saying. Just knowing the order to certain parts of 9 was a little confusing at times.
Yeah, the order of operations on some of the, like...
No. The thing with 9 is that, like, there are a lot of missions where you can only complete the first third of this sequence of side quests. So this side quest has multiple parts. You're only going to be able to complete parts 1 through 3, and come back after you beat War Criminal General Lady, and then you complete parts 4 through 5. And it does that for, like, multiple parts or side quests in 9, like
the Chocobo Hot Cold, Magnet.
Chocobo Hot Cold. There are a couple of things that you can do with, like, your characters. But no, yeah, I see what you're saying. I don't deny it. It's just, this is the worst part. Like, this is the part that I was hoping that this was just a clear-cut case where we could just definitively, all three of us, hate this.
They're both very good games.
I fucking hate this. Like, we're gonna have to nitpick these games.
That are both excellent. Like, both
it's
peak of their powers.
It was really funny when we were joking about, is this game worse than Final Fantasy 13? Like, no, because Final Fantasy 13's bad. Let's all laugh about how bad Final Fantasy 13 is.
Yeah.
So much easier to rank bad games.
Yeah, because no one cares. It's like grades of shit. But 9 and 6 are, I think, and both of them, what they do on their respective consoles, it's just, Square stunting for a whole game in both of those games. Like, you look at 8 and then look at 9, and you can see the jump. If you look at 7 and then 9, they look like they were developed for two different consoles entirely.
And like we said, like, you compare 6 to most of the Super Nintendo games that were coming out. Like, even, like, Super Mario Bros. 3. Like, Square was, like, outdoing prime Nintendo first-party development on their own console in a lot of ways, in terms of production values and sound design. This is why we're playing these games. We want to play the good ones. It's just here's the existential crisis I was talking to Braden. So when we finish 6, we could argue that we got maybe Tactics. How many good to great Final Fantasy products do we have after 6 and Tactics?
4 is good.
Yeah, okay, so 4. So we got Tactics, then 4. Jeff says nice things about 3, although I don't believe him.
I don't remember liking 3.
I mean, if you want the job system of 5, but with none of the variability, or none of the, like, flexibility, I guess so.
If you want a strictly worse version of the job system. Please confuse this fucker.
We played 1, we played 2, 3, 4 is maybe good, but it's always going to compare unfavorably to 6, 5. I guess the fight would be if we rank 5 over 4, which I think is going to piss a lot of people off.
I think 5 is better than 4, personally. I just like playing 5 more than I like playing 4.
Yeah.
4 is a weird game because it has a lot of, like, moments that are supposed to be, oh my goodness, I can't believe this character died, or oh my goodness, I can't believe this character sacrificed themselves. But I mean, have you played 4 already? Do you know?
I've played. I know that you go to the moon, is what I would say.
Okay. Then I won't say any more than that. There's some stuff about 4 that I wish it was.
From what I have played of 4, the part, and I said this on the second episode of 6, I like how, if you look at 4 as Square's notion of taking Japanese myth and legend and turning it into a video game, like, there's something that feels very similar to, like, the Tales of Musashi or Goemon about 4. Which, if you listen to, like, old Japanese legends, it's like about a fish who fell out of the water and asked a person who walked by to help him back into the water, and then he did it, and then a rabbit came by and told the man that you did a good job, now scratch my back. Oh wait, I played a trick on you and pushed you into a river and you got bit by a crocodile. Like, that's how Japanese legend works. It's just this non sequitur of random bullshit, and that's the part of 4 that I kind of like the most. But it's not the best playing Final Fantasy game. I think the people, I mean, Brad Shoemaker will tell you that his favorite is 4. People who say that that 4 is their favorite, it's the Mario Kart conundrum, where your favorite Mario Kart is probably the one that you played the most when you were a child.
Yes.
So, people who say they like 4, it probably was the first JRPG they ever played, and it was good enough to fit the bill.
Yep.
You've developed a level of nostalgia for it.
Yeah, Braden in chat. People who say that they like 4 the most were 10 years old in 1992. That's
yeah, probably.
That's the thing. Like, 4 is strictly worse at many of the things that it does than 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Like, it just was the first one with a more mature story. Actually, I don't even know that that's true. Like, 2 has a fairly mature story for its time. Okay, I'm apparently not going to be able to confuse one of these sons of bitches, so I'm just going to focus on killing them now.
But no, I mean, it's a good point. Like, okay. But then this gets back to the point. So after 6, it's tactics and 4. That's it, though, right? Like, there's no truly great Final Fantasy things for us to consume after 4 and 6, or 4 and tactics.
Let me think if there's any others that I'd be like.
Maybe you can rope-a-dope Jeff and I into playing Crystal Chronicles.
Crystal Chronicles isn't great, though. Oh, boy.
Lightning Return. Okay, fine. Braden is a stand for Lightning Returns, and so is Ian.
No, but Ian's
You people are.
Ian's got a sickness when it comes to those games. Oh, I'm gonna die. Damn it. Okay, I'm gonna need to restart this one. This fight's gone sideways. This boss fight sucks.
But what about you, Gino? As someone who grew up on the PS1 era, like, what do we have after that?
I mean, on the PS1, nothing. Let me think if there are any others I would like go to bat for. I'm just gonna go ahead.
A lot of people really like that GBA Tactics game, but
reset the game.
I hear it's very
Tactics
long.
Advance is good. That's a good game.
Oh wait, this is when M says 14, and you have
14.
To say, okay, M.
14, yes.
Okay, M.
14 makes sense. That's a good one.
But I don't like MMORPGs.
That's fair. After 14, what else though? Chocobo Racing's fun, but it's just a dumb, racing game. So I don't know that I would, I wouldn't say that it's even a great Mario Kart. Oh no, I hit new game. No, that's not what I want. Let me think. Dirge of Cerberus ain't it.
Jeff likes Dirge of Cerberus, though.
Crisis Core. Crisis Core.
Now, I saw our fellow moderator, Rio Starwind, playing that game. I think that... Okay, look. Crisis Core deserves credit for having the single best ending that maybe Square Enix wrote ever. Like, the Nomura era.
Mm-hmm.
It might have the single best scene that Nomura has ever directed. Short of Final Fantasy X.
Yeah.
But even then, with Final Fantasy X, you could say that, like, he had still some of the Gooch team to help him with that.
Yep.
But I think that people forgot how bad the slot machine shit plays.
Oh, I didn't forget. Gino remembers.
Gino played a lot of the PSP and PS Vita, and he remembers.
Gino will remember this.
Like, I think people forget how shitty that slot machine combat system is.
Yeah,
like,
it's
actively bad.
It's not great. It's not bad. Like, it's not great. It's not bad either. Like, the slot machine's not hyper necessary. It's just like the fact that your special moves come out randomly is weird. You don't generally need them to win. And the fact that they, at the end, get to turn the slot machine thing on its side for the final fight, I think is very cool. But yeah, I agree. Like, the slot machine is not, that's not where it's at. Okay, time for Songi to show up and have this cutscene again.
So, the way that I'm looking at this is...
We've got, like,
once
3.
We do 6... Once we do these 3, I don't think that we're ever... Unless, let's say, that Nomura figures out how to stop being Nomura, and he starts making games that are actually really, really, truly great.
Yeah, 7 Remake 2, like, if, Part 2 of 7 Remake is excellent, or something. I can imagine a world where that's very good.
I can imagine a world where we are 50 years old and we're talking about Part 3.
I can imagine that. I can also imagine a world where we're 50 years old and 9 Remake is announced. That seems to have been something that's been floating around. But
Okay, I'm glad you brought this up, but, like, the rumors of a 9 Remake have been, like, getting traction. As Giant Bomb's greatest Final Fantasy IX defender, what do you want out of a 9 remake? Like, what is on your wish list? Like, other than quicker load times, fewer glitches.
I would want...
What would you want? Do you want, like, that fan project where it's, like, this cel-shady look, or do you want, like, what does... that? I guess that's the first thing. How does a Final Fantasy IX remaster look? Is it 3D?
Yes. I would want it to be a 3D... I would want it to be FF7 Remake style. Like, let's make it 3D. Let's... But, like, 9's world was much better realized than 7's was in its time, I think. Like, you could just take the spaces that were in 9 in pre-rendered cutscenes, and I think with minimal changes, if you could just architect those in 3D, they would work. Whereas 7, I don't think you could just... I mean, just look at Midgar. Like, they didn't just take Midgar and make it 3D. They did more than that to make 7 Remake work. So I think I would like that. I would like the combat to be Remake style, 7 Remake. And I would like them to focus, like, just expand that world a little bit, you know? Like, let me explore a little bit more in some of those locations. Let me see those locations in a new way. And tell mostly the same story.
7 Remake, you would be okay if they put in new side quests, new
for
NPCs and stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think.
What?
But I think
you want them. Would you want 7 Remake's combat system in 9 Remake?
Yes, I would. I think you would have to do it a little bit differently because the characters in 9 are so much more diversified in how they play than they are in 7, just by default. Like, 7 has a lot more characters that, how do I put it? The characters in 9 just... Vivi should not behave like some of the other characters, right? His physical attacks are shit. He is all about magic. Like, the Aerith dichotomy, I think you'd probably have to have him play a little bit more like Aerith. You know, that sort of thing. You'd need to diversify the characters like they do in 7 Remake, for sure. Oh boy, is she gonna die? Please don't die. Please don't. Okay, good. Like, I think you'd have to diversify the characters in a similar way, and you'd have to find a way for Ico to play differently than Vivi, to play differently than Garnet. Like, the magic users would have to play really differently. But I think that the characters... Well, I guess we'll see what happens when Cait Sith gets into 7 Remake, right? Because he's probably the weirdest of the 7 characters in terms of how he plays.
You're assuming that in Part 2, our optional characters will be the same optional characters. Which I don't think there's a guarantee of.
I'm just trying to think which of the characters...
They've already shown Yuffie, and I actually, you know what?
I played Yuffie. She's good.
I love the way that Yuffie controls.
Yes.
So, here's the question: do you think that wouldn't it be great? Man, how much would fans lose their actual shit if they actually put in a new, different character? What if Zack joins your party? Because he's alive.
Yep, he is alive.
Wait, shit, I shouldn't have said that.
That's fine.
He's alive. Fine. What if Zack joined your party?
Yeah. That's totally in play.
But anyways, how much rewriting would you tolerate of 9?
I would tolerate some rewrites. I would
How about this? Make Necron embedded in the story more earlier.
Or just get rid of Necron and just end it with Kuja. Honestly, write Necron out of the story would be fine with me too.
Hey, I can compromise.
Yeah, right? Like, who would shed a tear if Necron was not in the story? No one. We can lose Necron. It'd be fine. Die, Vigoro B.
Oh, this era of JRPG enemy names.
Please die. Please die. Okay, cool. I didn't absorb him, but he's dead. So now I'm on to the last enemy. Just go at this guy. Hit him with everything. She's not great with magics, so let's spirit, and then you can... what is your 4-hit combo that hits flying things? None of them, huh? None of them? Really? Okay. Yeah, I would love to see just take the combat, because I like the combat in 9, I like the gem system, but I'm not wedded to it. You can, like, the original 9 still exists. You don't have to be married to how that game played. It's okay. What would you want to see in a 9 remake? Boy, Gala, you do shit for damage.
Sorry about that. But no, yeah,
What would you want to see in a 9
What would
remake?
I want to see? I think that I'm always a huge fan of how when RTSs get re-released in like HD remasters where there's toggles. I hope that there is. I think the worst thing they could do is just give us the same ATB combat.
Yes.
Because I think it's way too slow, and I think that it does not stand the test of time. And it's one of the first big reminders of, yo, this game is old.
Sure.
So I would prefer that you do... I would even say don't even do the compromise. I hope that I genuinely think that Square should not do the olive branch of you can toggle to play the game turn-based, because I found the turn-based combat in 7 Remake awful. So I don't think they should even give an olive branch to 9 Remake. I think that, other than that, if you do... I hope that there's some sort of equipment, skill-based system similar to how they modernized the materia system.
Yep.
I think that's the big... I would like to see how they do the old-school equipment and learn these skills and then plug them into these slots. I wonder how they would do that.
Yeah, and I think the one thing is that 9 is so much more about equipment and kitting up every time you get to town, in a way that 7 wasn't, that I think it's an interesting case, you know? How would you modernize that? Oh, please get absorbed. No.
I think that the way they did materia in 7 Remake is a great case of how it can be done.
Yeah, but materia was more... Materia just either impacted your stats or it just gave you an ability. 9, your equipment is your stats and your abilities. So I just would be interested to see how they do that. I mean, I think it's entirely doable, but it would be pretty different, I think.
Yeah, and this is part of the reason why I think they'll never make an 8 remake.
Oh, yeah. 8 remake, I don't even know how you do the junction system, other than throw it out.
I mean, people were... we talked about it when we did the re-release. People writing in their reviews, the junction system should have been replaced with something better. It's like, fuck off.
No, that's the thing about it. Like, that's the thing about 8, is that the junction system's
Drawing is
wild.
really bad. It's like, shut the fuck up.
No, it's not. It's fine. It's just different. It's just different. It's just weird. Games are allowed to be weird sometimes. It's okay.
Somehow, riding a whale to the moon is okay, but, like, the junction system's the line in the sand where it's like, this is too weird, no, don't like.
We are going to have to figure out what we're doing with 4 and 3 in terms of playing the DS versions or the original versions, because the mechanics are straight up different And the story is straight
Right.
up different in those, depending on which ones you play.
See, and then the hard thing is that the Super Nintendo version of 4 has some pretty catastrophic, like, glitches and errors. Like, well, of course, everything on the Super Nintendo has, like, some way for you to do a fail state to your game. There's a way in 5, the original release of 5, where you can accidentally park Black Chocobo in a spot and then pick up the airship and then park the airship here, and now you can't get out.
Mm-hmm.
Weird stuff like that. And then this is something that I plan to talk next weekend. I think we said we were going to record.
Mm-hmm.
Probably our usual Sunday, or maybe Monday. Whatever. The number of people who spent years of their actual life trying to return to the world of balance after going to the world of ruin.
Mm-hmm.
It's a non-zero amount of people. And God bless them, they found out that there is indeed a way to go to the world of balance after the world of ruin. It just...
Do you need
stuck.
a game genie?
It's not even a game genie. You can actually sequence break.
Hmm.
Because someone found out when you open up the raw data of 6, it's literally just like a parallel world. Like, the world of ruin exists actually right next to the world of balance on the actual game map. It's just there's this hard line, this hard, like, JPEG break.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you were to take the actual game, it's just 2 maps, like,
Side by
separated
side,
by-
and
side by side.
it teleports you
Which is-
if you try to
Yeah,
jump
that's
onto the other
exactly
one.
what it does. It just teleports you to the other side.
Yep.
So there is a way for you to go to the world of balance. It's just once you get there, your
There's
game
no way
is
back.
completely borked. You can't progress the story. It's not like, oh, I get to pretend in my mind headcanon that they found a way to restore the world after Kefka sets everything on fire. But no, yeah, it's literal. It's a literal teleport to the other map, and you're just there.
Is it what? Is there a seam that you just need to hit at the right angle and then you?
I don't know the specific details. I'll have it when we record the podcast, but it is hyper specific and also like only crazy people who truly love 6, and God bless them.
Mm-hmm.
Only those types of people would take the time to try and figure this out. Oh, cool. Houston's up 11-0 against Sacramento.
I mean, it's the beginning of the game. They'll be fine. Do you give me anything? The times are changing, and Master Eyebrows cannot keep up with the changing times. Makes you think. Hey Maya, give me your items. Thank you. Yep, heal me. All right, I'm up to the first like area boss. Do you want me to do that and then call it a day?
I mean, the only way that I can think of a game that kind of impresses me in such wizardry is when...
Is when what?
Like, that trickery of, like, teleporting you to the world of ruin is so cool. But apparently, like, the only thing that kind of impresses me more is, like, Pokemon Gold finding a way to fit both the new world and the previous game on the same cartridge.
Thank you, Jatsu, for the raid. How do I... So I got the power
Apparently,
shoes.
like, the story to that is that Satoru Iwata is like, hey, we got all this extra room on this cart for the Pokemon Gold. What if we fit Pokemon Red into this cart? And they're like, we don't think there's enough space. And then Satoru Iwata and Miyamoto figured it out.
And they were like, we'll see about that.
We'll see about that.
You,
and then they
you tell me.
did it.
I'll tell you if there's space. How's about that? Can't afford anything else. I wish I could afford more of the equipment.
Yes, go make a sandwich, Jatsu. Sandwiches are good.
Sandwiches are great.
What? Okay, then you tell me. What is a vegetable person sandwich? Is it sprouts? Because I don't like sprouts actually.
Sometimes it's.
I've been told that
sprouts.
maybe I'm eating the wrong sprouts, but like, sprouts have that weird. Like, I'll just take like leafy greens instead of
I
sprouts.
mean, it's usually an avocado spread, cheeses, sprouts, lettuce, jalapeno.
Sprouts and lettuce?
Not on the
Okay,
same
tomato?
sandwich usually. Tomato. Like the sandwich that I usually get is an avocado spread, sprouts, cheese, I think tomatoes on there, peppers, hot peppers, and
Oh, you go for
I think pickles are on there too.
You go for pickles or those weird vinegar peppers that Italian sandwiches have all the time? Which
I'll
I
eat
love.
either. It depends.
Oh yeah, the vinegar peppers.
Yeah. It depends. Am I going for an Italian sandwich or am I going for a more American sandwich?
Well, now that you kind of sort of live closer to the West Coast, have you seen a Sprouts Farmers Market yet?
I have. They're
Have
fine.
you seen their sandwich bar?
No, I have not.
Oh man, they have a deli that serves like a very artisanal sandwich. Although, like a big corporate chain using the term farmer's market kind of rubs me the wrong way.
That's fair. Could not escape. Oh, steel? You son of a bitch.
Does a grilled cheese sandwich count as vegetarian?
Yes.
But not vegan?
Vegetarian, but not vegan.
And you're a vegetarian, not
Yes.
vegan.
Correct. You sons of bitches. Give me my shit back.
Oh shit, it stole the good one. Yes, a PB&J would also count.
Yes.
PB&J is a shit tier sandwich.
Fucking assholes. Give me my shit back.
It's
Yeah.
like when you lose a triple triad match and the person takes your best card. And it's like,
Yeah.
fuck!
So here's what I meant with if the characters are clustered. Like he shoots a cone and it hits both of them.
Yeah.
Recovered
This is
all stolen
way-
items.
This is this is very much the way things work in Grandia. You actually do see the cone, though, in the arena that you're fighting in.
Here you just kind of have to project it
Yeah.
in your mind.
But as Braden says, like, there comes a point when Grandia 1 and 2, where the AoE spells just do everything that you need, and you just cast them over and over again.
Yeah, I mean, I think the best vegetarian sandwiches I've had, you've got your PB&Js, you've got your ones that are heavy on veggies, you've got some that are heavy on cheese. Like
Are you a hummus person?
I like
Do you
hummus. I like hummus. You also have your falafel bases. Those are another like pretty common genre of sandwich for vegetarians. I should probably. I don't think I need to heal up. Yeah, you got
I forgot. Did you try that KFC vegetarian
I did.
chicken thing?
I forgot to say that. Yes, I tried the KFC vegetarian nuggets.
And
They are a like mediocre. They're like fine. Like if you have you ever had a Morningstar Farms vegetarian nugget?
yes.
It's like that.
No, I was hoping a little bit more of quality with that, but then again, it's KFC, right?
Yeah, it's KFC. So like the breading is fine. The dipping sauces are the same KFC dipping sauces you've come to love and respect. They gave me a lot of them. I was not prepared for how sweet all of their sauces are. Like the sheer amount of sugar that is in their sauces is alarming.
And then also their spicy sauce is not even remotely spicy.
No, not at all, because they have to put the corn syrup in there for the sweet.
But anyways, other than that, okay is what you would say.
Yeah, I'd say like the sauces are fine. The quality of the fake meat is what I expect from like a modern Beyond sandwich, Beyond fake meat. So like it's totally fine. And then I had a biscuit with it, and the biscuits are fine. I think I can do a
continue
6
to be okay.
Yep. Like, if you can't get a good Southern biscuit, this is an acceptable answer.
I live closer to a Popeyes than a KFC, so I'll continue to stick with Popeyes. But I just gotta say, I've been eating a lot less fried chicken.
Good. Do you feel better?
Rotisserie chicken, on the other hand, is my go-to.
Well, that's better than fried chicken.
Oh, yeah. And then also you can, like, prepare it for sandwiches in the future.
Yeah.
That or, and it's an overpriced luxury item, but Boston Market's chicken, good old Boston Market, that's a good chicken.
My dad used to be a manager at a Boston Market. We ate a lot of chicken at that time of my life.
Anyways.
So where would you stack... You are a KFC person, yes?
Yes, I will eat the fast food, yes.
Of the 4 dippin' sauces, I believe you have to pronounce it dippin', correct? They're dippin' sauces, not dipping? Of the 4 dippin' sauces, where would you rank them? The KFC sauce, the honey mustard, honey barbecue.
You know me as... So the first thing that I want to say, you know me as a pro ranch person, right?
Yes, you are, yes.
I think
famously.
that KFC's ranch is not good. It's very watery, it's disappointing, it doesn't even have a good ranch flavor. So I would rank the buttermilk ranch dressing like bottom tier, like F tier, don't get the buttermilk ranch. Have your own ranch on standby at home. The honey mustard is maybe the most visually pleasing of KFC's sauces, but I'm just not...
I'm not here for visual pleasing.
I'm not impressed by that tiny Dijon kick, because when I get a honey mustard sauce, I want the Dijon mustard to have a prominent part of the flavor profile.
Yep.
And you're right. The honey mustard of KFC is literally just a candy sauce. So I would put that slightly above the ranch. Like, so if KFC's ranch is F tier, like, honey mustard for me is like D+, because it's literally just candy. There's no mustard part to that sauce.
Yeah. Yeah, it is the candy of sauces.
And oddly enough, the finger-licking good sauce, which is the default sauce, is probably my C tier sauce. Like the sauce that they give you, like, finger-licking good. It's like, it's the brown, that light brown, weird, sweet sauce. And it kind of has like a weird pickly flavor to it.
Yep. It's got horseradish in it, from what I can detect.
I think that it's a C tier. I think you're right. Like, the weird thing about that sauce is how sweet it is.
Yeah, I don't understand. I've never had a real sweet horseradish sauce before. That's a new one.
See, that's the weird thing, is that I don't like that weird contradiction between horseradish and sweet, kind of like teriyaki sauce. I would just prefer if it was traditional teriyaki sauce, to be very, very honest.
Yep.
So, C tier, the default sauce, C tier. B minus tier is maybe the sweet and tangy sauce. Because at least the sweet and tangy sauce has like that weird chili kick to it. It's super it underperforms. And it's the most milquetoast, sweet and sour, sweet and tangy, sweet and hot sauce I've ever had, but there's some kick to it, and I greatly prefer it to the honey barbecue, the honey mustard.
Where do you come down on the KFC fries?
I prefer potato wedges. Give me the potato wedges. The potato wedges are better than the French fries.
Okay.
And also, I think that after the sweet and tangy, B plus to like the creamy buffalo, my only problem with the buffalo sauce is that, again, it's like not a buffalo sauce. Candy sauce.
Yep.
But at least their summertime barbecue sauce is an actual summertime barbecue sauce. Like, it's ultra smoky. It's got a little bit of a tomatoey kick to it. And even though it's the barbecue sauce, it's not the sweetest sauce on their menu.
Oh, no.
But again, it's everything. Even their creamy buffalo sauce has like a sugary.
It's all so
taste
sweet
to it that I don't.
I felt
like.
so after we got a 12-piece to share, my wife and I. I felt ill after having it.
Oh, see, when you said that you felt ill on Discord, now that I remember it, I thought you meant that the vegetable stuff made you food poisoned.
No. That was fine. Like, I've had, it's not the greatest food for you, but I think it was the sauce. I think it was the, like, sugary sauce that got me more than anything else.
Yeah, no, I think that on a good day, I would just get barbecue sauce and the buffalo sauce, and everything else is kind of bad.
I see.
I mean, the traditional sauce, maybe. But yeah, everything... All of KFC's sauces, like you said, are really, really, really weirdly sweet.
Yeah, that is the first time I've had KFC in 20 years or so. So, I was not prepared. I was not ready for the flavor explosion that I felt. But yeah, it's serviceable.
Right. Yeah, I think serviceable is kind of... Look, if I'm going to go into a KFC and I'm going to order a non-meat-based option, I think serviceable is...
acceptable.
My expectations.
Yeah, I would say if you're in the market for a fast food vegetarian option, and you don't have a vegetarian fast food chain, because those exist. If you don't have one of those available to you, I would say the Burger King Impossible Whopper.
I'm glad you tried that, because
It's a cut above.
I think that the Burger King Impossible Burger is still maybe the best fast food vegetable option.
Vegetarian option.
I was impressed by the vegetables that are on with the patty are also very good. Tomato, the lettuce, the mayo. I did not feel... Which is a weird thing to say, because Burger King, not exactly the stamp of approval in terms of quality ingredients.
No. And I would say, your Taco Bell options are also not, the worst.
No, because I like the spicy potato soft taco, and that's just potatoes, lettuce, and spicy sauce, and that's good. And they also have a bean taco burrito thing that's on the budget menu that's I like.
Yeah, I've just been I've been spoiled with good burritos. Chipotle's right there, and it's better than Taco Bell.
Yeah, but the problem with Chipotle is they keep killing motherfuckers.
Yeah, well, other than the body count, it's, I think, just a higher quality burrito. Get this guy. Let's heal my boy, Vaughn. And you don't have any fucking magic. Damn it. I forget, are you a hot sauce person?
I can deal with hot sauce. In fact, I'll spoil thing that I got during Christmas that I saw this and it's like, this is going to be a donation incentive. I got Bean Boozled, but spicy flavored Bean Boozled.
What's Bean Boozled?
Boozled is the jelly bean where it's either toothpaste flavored or bubble gum. It's that thing.
Okay.
But I got the spicy Bean Boozled where all of the beans are the same color except one of them's ghost pepper, one of them's jalapeno. So it's either going to be kind of sort of spicy or my face is on fire.
Ooh. So it's all bad options, but grades of bad?
All bad options. In fact, let me get this thing.
I have not heard of this. This is great. That sounds outstanding. Has anyone in chat heard of Bean Boozled before, or is this new for other people too?
So the lowest one here is sriracha.
Okay, yep, that checks out.
And jalapeno.
Yep.
And level 3 is Cayenne.
Yep.
And level 4 is Habanero.
Really? Cayenne's higher than... I mean, Habanero's higher than Cayenne. I didn't know that.
Sure, I don't know.
I don't know about the
Scovilles. The final
Scovilles.
one, the level 5 is the Carolina Reaper Jelly Bean.
That's amazing. What a weird society we have.
I will be, like, whenever I reach a certain incentive to the, I will eat a random jelly bean and then report on what flavor it is.
What flavor is it, and how do you feel? How does it make you feel inside?
I just need to still, like we said, I need to figure out what I want to play.
Yep. And then you gotta Scovilize yourself. Hot ones, but video games.
Because I'm not a huge milk drinker.
Mm.
See, I made the switch from regular milk to almond milk, and I will never switch back.
Yep. Now, I will have lactose-free regular milk. I don't know if you will indulge in that.
I'm fine. The reason why I switched to almond milk is because I got a Vitamix as my birthday gift, and I've fallen in love with making smoothies. But no sugar added, just fruit. Like frozen fruit, almond milk, banana, and then maybe like protein powder. That's it. I don't put in like orange juice. I don't put in...
Really?
Well, the reason why I don't put... Most orange juices have an insane amount of sugar. I'm not sure if you've ever seen this.
Yes. Yeah, finally, I got someone to absorb something.
If I do juice, I'll just put in the fruits and then put blender on the highest speed and make my own juice using the blender.
That's fair.
Yeah. No. All fruit smoothies. Like, kind of sort of fruit is I get the flash frozen fruit. Like, you know, the mixed berry or the tropical berry mix, and then just throw in like an apple or some grapes. And then a splash of almond juice. It might be one of the few healthy things that I do with my life.
Come on now.
No, yeah. Yeah, these, I have a feeling these jelly beans are gonna fuck me up pretty good.
Probably. Some of those are pretty high on the Scoville scale.
Yeah, Habanero and Carolina Reaper. Even Cayenne. When I think of Cayenne, I think of powder.
Yep.
But even, like, you think about Cayenne powder, like, you can only put, like, a teaspoon before it burns your face off.
Yeah, I was making tacos. My wife and I were making tacos, and we didn't have regular chili powder. And so I was like, oh, well, cayenne is a chili. It's a type of chili, so this must be substitutable. And my wife was like, no, I don't think it is. And I was like, no, I think it is. And so then we made it with cayenne in place of the chili powder, but with the same amount that it called for in chili powder. Let me tell you, that those are not you can't do that. I made an oopsie. I'm a big enough person to say I made an oopsie. My face hurts so badly.
See, that's the thing, that if this Carolina Reaper jelly bean is what I think it's gonna be, when you eat too much hot food, it hurts. It doesn't,
yeah.
The muscles on your face are pain.
Okay, now I think I can switch my equipment. Let's try and get Noah to absorb a spell next. Or maybe Gala, just so he can catch up. Okay, Vaughn, you can definitely take the Ivory Book off. Let's give you, I don't know, this Azure Jewel. Gala, you can have the Ivory Book. And that'll do it. And Earth Jewel doesn't do shit for me right now, because nothing does earth damage. How did my Thanksgiving gift go? You said you shared it.
I shared, yeah. The people ate around the more luxurious candy corn. I did give many... so all of the lobster candy got used. And I think my favorite one is, I can't even taste the lobster. It tastes like spoiled butter. Was the comment that stuck out to me the most.
That's just because they don't have the refined palate.
Indeed, you caused physical damage to multiple members of my family.
Yay! Did they have a good time?
Sure. Let's say yes.
Yay!
Yes.
I'm glad they had a good time.
Yeah.
Ooh, cool. Zenoir and I think that's how you pronounce that, right? Zenoir?
Sure.
And Naito. Oh, I don't think I want to use high on this thing. Back punch. Jesus. Jotsu in the chat. Jesus about that butter comment. So did anyone try the turkey flavor?
Yeah.
Of the candy corn?
Yes. And I think the problem, by the time that it got to my family,
they had
the
heard of
problem
it?
that I screamed about on the podcast of flavors are starting to rub off on each other had gone to... So, the person who tried turkey said that it tasted more like green bean. So I think that by the time that it was Christmas...
It had cross-pollinated.
The candy corn had really cross-pollinated.
Excellent. You really want your... Well, just like in Christmas and Thanksgiving, you want to have, your flavors mixing. You want your taters with your green beans, Your turkey with your green beans. And the excellent folks at the Mars Candy Corporation, or whichever godless candy company decided to make this, they knew that that's what you wanted. They anticipated your needs and met them in advance. Yeah! Got another spell. Okay, now I can run from those fights. I wish this game played faster. Or I could...
Yeah, this seems to be the biggest thing. Like, I'm looking at the how long to beat, and it's saying anywhere between 35 to 40 hours, and I think that is primarily because the combat cannot speed itself up as it increases the stakes.
It can, but you need to be running more often. I don't have enough resources to actually do the battles as intended without running faster. Jatsu, I'm sure that the new flavors of fucking candy corn were not just made with leftover bits of other flavors. I forget, did you watch Nathan For You?
Yes, I did. The poop-flavored ice cream.
Yeah, so then you've seen that. The poo-poo flavored ice cream. Why would I sell poo-flavored ice cream? Well, you put it in there to get people in the door. And then once you have them in the door, you sell them your real ice cream. I don't know. That sounds like a bad idea. It sounds like they'll be mad about eating poop. No, you should do it. What a great show.
I think my favorite episode is other than fake Starbucks.
Fake Starbucks is very
probably
good.
Chili Man.
What's Chili? I don't know.
have you not seen Becoming the Chili Man?
No,
Like,
I
the
don't
one
think
where
I've
he's
seen that
working at
one.
the chili at the local hockey arena.
No.
He's trying to make a mascot for this like hockey arena stand. He's gonna it's like he's working at a hockey arena stand and he wants to serve chili, like you know, one of those people who's like, peanuts, gotcha, peanuts.
Yeah.
And the only way he can figure out to make it work is if he puts bags of chili all over his body, then has to make a suit where he's dressed up as like an anthropomorphic like can of chili, but it's just him with these giant steaming bags of chili on his like knees and his stomach and his chest.
So he's throwing chili to people to be like
he's like serving it out of a that's part of the thing is he has to figure out how do I serve the chili as I walk around the hockey arena.
So he wants
his
to
whole pitch is that, like, you know, the best way to incentivize people to buy food is if the food is hot.
Because
what's
it's a
hot
hockey
food
arena
that everybody likes?
Chili.
So I'm gonna bring them chili and I'm gonna become the chili man.
Incredible. I love when he goes undercover with the woman from the Hot Topic, is it? Or he says he's a Hot Topic employee? That's great. I will become the chili man. That's incredible. You simply must become the chili man.
That show is, I can only watch one episode because then it's like, okay, I've got enough of my... It's the same thing with, like, the Eric Andre show where I feel like after I watch an episode, I need to just stand up, walk, and then just breathe.
Yeah, I can watch that show all day, but everyone in my life is like, I can't. He's just... It's too much. So that's a show that I basically have to watch on my own. That and Review.
Yeah, Review has some real dark episodes.
I mean, most of them are quite dark.
When he goes through the divorce and stuff like that.
Pancakes, Divorce Pancakes. One of the greatest episodes of television ever made. I guess I have to get divorced. All right. His commitment to the bit. Was Prom the one where he gets addicted to cocaine? No, drug addiction.
Yes. Drug addiction.
That one's very good. Become Batman. That's a good one. Yeah, I can't. I can't even with some of them. I understand why some people have a hard time watching those shows, just because they're so... like, specifically the Nathan For You is him just kind of taking advantage of the good-natured attitudes of the people around him for yucks.
I don't know. That episode with, or that scene on the fake Starbucks episode with the lawyer, I can rewatch that scene 1,000 times, and that lawyer deserved every minute of shit that he got before, during, and after that episode aired.
I don't remember what he did. What did the lawyer do?
The episode's like, well, you're going to also have to accept responsibility for this if we get sued. It's like, no, I'm just a lawyer. It's like, no, you actually signed this contract where you're now like a partial owner of this fake Starbucks. He's like, wait, what?
The gas rebate episode is so good. Oh, you have to... In order to get your rebate, you need to go to the top of this mountain. What? Okay, sure. I'm gonna get my $4 back. And they just go on a journey. Yeah, the amount of bullshit that those people were willing to put up with to get a rebate, truly incredible.
Yeah. Yep. I don't think I've ever heard of this show, Jatsu. I would say watch an episode and go from there.
Nathan For You, and Review. These are two separate shows. Nathan for You. The premise is Nathan Felder. He's a comedian who he basically gets good-natured folks, like real businesses, and he says he's, you know, a brain genius who's going to help their businesses, and he comes up with like obtuse ways of helping their businesses, and gets them to do it. So, like, for example, there's a horse farm that wants to, you know, they want to get new customers. So he says, okay, what if you had an elaborate system of balloons to attach to people who are over the weight that horses can support, so that a person who is overweight can ride a horse for the first time, and you will be the only company that can offer horsey rides to people over X number of pounds. And they were like, that seems dangerous. And he's like, okay, I'm gonna figure out how to do it. So he gets giant balloons to offset like 50 pounds of a human, and then has a series of drone to attack birds to stop them from popping the balloons. And then he had giant paddles to knock away tree branches to stop the balloons from popping. So, like, that's pretty great.
Straight. It is played straight.
He is always playing it straight. He is a confidence man through and through. Just like, yeah, this is normal. You should let me do this. There was one where there was a car wash, and in order to get more people to wash their cars, he put a bunch of birds in the trees surrounding the car wash so that they would shit on cars nearby so that they would have to get their cars washed. And he found that, like, most birds don't produce enough poop, so the bird that produced the most poop was like a peacock. So there are just like peacocks in this tree just pooping constantly to try and get cars to go to this car wash. It's always a bank shot. There was like a tourist trap in LA where he was like, well, what if Johnny Depp was outside of your store? And wouldn't that make people want to come into your store to see Johnny Depp? And they were like, well, how will we get Johnny Depp? Well, we're going to get a Johnny Depp impersonator, and they're going to stand outside of your store, and people will think it's Johnny Depp.
It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah.
And not all of the businesses go with his ideas.
No, not all of them, but a startling number.
The ones that do are the best episodes.
And he has to just convince them, like, yeah, this is a great idea. What was the there was a clothing store where, was it the security guards were spending too much time looking at boobs? Was that one of them?
Clothing store restaurant.
Okay.
And that's the one where he says, well, you should encourage shoplifting.
Yes, that's it. You can shoplift one item. You can shoplift one item. It's a new policy, but only if you're pretty. That was it. You can shoplift one item, but only if you're pretty, because pretty people are tastemakers. And so if we have a pretty person shoplift, they will have your good, and they will, you know, bring it places, and they will convince their friends to buy these goods. Which is incredible. That one's so good.
That's coincided by the bathroom restaurant. That's the same episode.
I don't remember the bathroom restaurant.
That's the one where he notices that next to this restaurant that most of the stores don't allow access to a bathroom.
Oh, right.
And he ends up suggesting they advertise their food
in the bathroom.
Stalls.
Yes.
And allow anyone to walk in to use the facilities.
But it's ad supported. It's an ad driven experience. So they've got LEDs in the bathrooms. Yeah, and Review, the premise of Review is Andy Daly, who's a comedian, is a life reviewer. So he reviews life experiences to let you know if you should do them. So, like, there's let's see, what are some of them?
Being a racist.
Being a racist, yes. Getting addicted to drugs. Going to prom. But he's an adult, so, like, he has to go to prom as an adult. But it's a scripted show, I have to say. It is a scripted show. It is not, you know, it's not a guerrilla show, yeah. How many points do I have on my point card? 151. Okay, that's not enough to insta-kill Songi here. Yeah, so since it's not a guerrilla show, like, you don't have to feel like it's got some cringy moments, but it's not, you know, mean-spirited.
That's the thing about Nathan for you, is that it feels a lot less mean-spirited than other, like, jackass shows.
Yes. It's a little
Although
bit...
I will say, like, Eric Andre going to the Republican National Convention is... They deserve every bit of Eric Andre's malice.
Yes.
Yeah,
This
good.
is some good drum and bass right here.
This game has some really good music.
It does. Get fucked, Songi. Oh, it's good. Take that. I should probably...
Yeah, this Akuma guy's showing you what's up.
He is. This Akuma-looking motherfucker. Was Akuma around before Songi? In terms of timeline? I think Akuma would probably have been just a little bit predating Songi. Oh no, he survived. Oh no. I thought that would kill him for sure. Okay. I need to magic him, or else I die. Get him. Get him, Gimmerd. Please be lethal. Fire up. Yeah. Got him. This was a writer on the Canadian show. This hour has 22 minutes. Nathan Felder? He's, Songi is your rival character. Tell you something you should know. The lord of this castle is waiting for you all by the mist generator. Be very careful if you value your life. Don't lose to someone like that. So in the speed runs, they kill him by using a points card to just throw your purchases at him, basically.
Sure. Okay. That's great.
And you just insta-kill him. Like, with all of the items that you've bought up until this point in the game, you just murder him. One hit.
Great.
So it seemed like the speed run, you use the slot machine payout to buy a bunch of items. You then sell those items, buy a bunch of items that you may or may not need. But because 5% of every purchase you make goes onto your points card, you then use the points card to kill whatever needs killing.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's like Guild Toss, basically, but with more steps. Okay, time
I
to...
don't hate it.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
cool. Ah, really a fucking battle right here? Yeah, so I think I'm gonna, I guess Gala doesn't have either of these guys, so I'll have him do his thing. I think I'm gonna have a different guest every time I stream Legend of Legaia, just like,
Sure.
have different people ask questions. Talk about Legend of Legaia.
I mean, this game, I think I'm a bit more positive than Braden about this game. This game looks cool. I think my only concern is that it seems like it is long.
It is, and it's got some interesting locations, I will say, later in the game. It goes very body horror in some spots.
Oh, so like Parasite Eve, Grandia 2. Okay.
How body horror do those get? What happens to human bodies in those games?
Have you played Parasite Eve?
How Resident... No, I haven't.
No, two is the Resident Evil one. One is Square trying to make a horror Final Fantasy turn-based like.
No, what I was gonna say is like how like skinless dogs and weird skinless monsters is it, or does it go more body horror than that? Does it stop at skinless dogs? Because this
no, it goes one. Parasite Eve goes one step above that.
Okay, because
Like,
this game
we're dealing with like biological horror machines, like horror abominations.
This game goes pretty far with its biological horror. Later in the game. So you saw that like the enemies in this game, these Seru, when there's mist around, they graft onto the humans, and the humans become monsters.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
It's fucked up, and stuff goes further with that, especially with the enemies like this guy, who maintain their humanity to a certain extent when they have the Seru on them. Like this thing. Giant fucking crab. So let's hit him with Gimmer. And you use Spirit, and you give her a Fury Boost. So what the Fury Boost does is it makes it so her AP gauge is just always jacked up. So she doesn't have to use abilities to pump it up.
Interesting.
So now she just hits hard all the time.
Cool.
No effect, huh? Oh, she can hit even harder. Oh, shit. She's got another slot. What do I do now? Up, left, down, right, down, right. Oh, do I not have enough? I don't have enough AP to do that move. Okay, but I'm gonna do something sick the next time I've got a turn. You just wait. Oh boy. And he's gonna do Call Wave. This guy's got a 2-turn sort of thing going on. But yeah, I think this game has a lot going for it. It's got a lot of cool stuff happening. Let's hit him.
And it's not like you can find any modern examples of it, so you have to play this one.
Yep. Yeah, you have no choice. Get him. Yeah. Dragon Fangs. Yeah, it's truly the only game of its ilk, so you kinda, it's this or nothing.
In a genre of its own class.
Oh shit! The fuck? I didn't think it would do that much damage.
Wowzers! Legend of Legaia doesn't have a similar system to this? I don't know.
Legaia does. Lagaya II does have the same combat system. Super Javelin. Oh boy. I'm just gonna go ahead and let's reset game because I'm not gonna survive. Okay, I guess I need to do defense when he does call wave. Otherwise I die. Good to know.
That hit you hard.
That hit me super hard. I didn't expect it to hit that hard. Maybe I should have bought a deep sea gem or something. There's another item that prevents water damage or lowers water damage. And I think Noah has the only one that I've got right now. Okay. Let's try this again. Do I have anything to equip? Ooh, I do. What is the metal ring? Okay, none of these help for what I'm trying to do. But Noah, you can definitely take the metal ring because you're going to be doing attacks on attacks on attacks. Let me use a magic leaf to make it so Gala can actually cast spells. So he's involved in this fight.
Huh. Okay. Yeah.
Because I was just kind of having him
Ye
chill.
old JRPG tradition of you're not good enough to be a stakeholder in the battle I'm having right now.
Yes. You are here to use items. This guy with this
That's
weird
the one
helmet.
nice thing about the Mother franchise is they create a class. Well, there's usually a character who, like, when they use items, they're double effective.
Yep.
Their effectiveness is doubled. That's actually a cool concept.
Let's use a Fury Boost on Noah. You use Spirit, and you cast Theater on him. Let's see if this works a little better. Oh, that's better. Okay, cool. Just hitting Vaughn. That's way better than what he was doing before. And then cast a spell. Magic. Shoot him with your butt laser. 400. There we go. That's better.
Not the first time that the Deep Listens podcast network has had to discuss butt lasers.
Hit this guy up. Poisonous bubbles. Whatever. Fuck this guy up. Lizard tail. Swan diver.
But yeah, I'm looking at this list of games that we could possibly games and media that we can possibly discuss for the Final Fantasy series. Ever since I brought it up, yo dog, we got like of this list, I would say maybe 10 to 20% is even approaching good.
Cool.
This list is a lot of bad. And that's this list doesn't even have all of those dog shit mobile games that we can't play.
Good. With 6, can I do anything fun with Vaughn? Not yet. I can't do any super arts with him yet, so. But you can keep doing super arts. And you should heal everyone. Yeah! Super Javelin. Call wave? There it is.
Do you think I mean, Jeff's been joking about this. Do you actually think he's going to pick Mystic Quest?
I don't know, but I've got a copy of Mystic Quest. It's just looking at me. Very alarmingly.
I hope he doesn't.
Here comes Big Wave. This time it shouldn't kill everyone, though. I have everyone healing. Or everyone guarding.
No, the word fine is a perfect descriptor for Mystic Quest. Yes, it's fine. It's fine.
This is fine. What's happening to me is fine.
You know.
Get him. He's not even falling over yet. Don't do that twice, please. Don't kill him, please. Fuck. This guy hits hard. Let's use a healing bloom from you, and you use a phoenix to get my boy Gala back up. And the item name is Phoenix, just like in Final Fantasy, kinda. Mystic Quest is just the, like, simpler Final Fantasy, right? That's all it is?
Yeah, it's the one because they thought Americans were dumb.
Yeah, it's just the...
The fact that the franchise was inspired by American-made CRPGs. That part always confused me, was this sense of inferiority with the Western audience, despite the fact that, like, some of the tentpole franchises of Japanese game development at the time were inspired by CRPGs made by SSI and you know, Dungeons and Dragons.
Western companies. Final Fantasy USA in Japan? That's amazing. It's called Final Fantasy Baby in Japan, isn't that right? Toddler. Final Fantasy Poopy Butt. I think in the region it was called Final Fantasy Goo Goo Gaga, technically. Please don't kill him. Good. Look, like, entry-level RPGs have a place. If you're going to make games of a genre, you should have ways for people to get into that genre. There's nothing wrong with that. Stay down. Damn it.
Except, I would maybe argue that Final Fantasy 1 is a good entry point to the entire genre. Like, it's mean, but it's, you know, straightforward.
Boss down.
2. It's actually 4.
Down he goes. I didn't notice this guy had crab claws to begin with. Ah, there's a prince. An evil prince that we need to watch out for. Time to destroy the mist generator. It's a giant evil machine. right, we got a CGI cutscene.
These are always nice.
Cloud, this mist generator's destroying the planet. Can't you hear it scream?
Yeah, this is definitely of the era when every JRPG is about how technology bad.
Yep. Can't you hear the planet is dying, Cloud? I need to make a planet that's safer for Marlene.
It's a shockingly good impression of Barrett.
Yeah, if this whole video game gamesmanship doesn't work out, I'll just get into voice acting. A very non-competitive field, I'm sure. The planet's crying. It's dying, Cloud. Well, there goes what appeared to be a Raseru egg. Yep. Must be a mist generator. Yep. You mustn't call me Honorable Gala. I guess it's Gala-sama, probably, is what he's saying in Japanese. I want you to go after Songi. It's not a Raseru. Some evil presence. Fighting the mist also means tracking down Songi. Maya says she'll return to Rim Elm. I feel like you guys should just give me items now for free. Why are you really going alone? Good and destroyed. Okay. Thank you, I'll do my best. Tell your daughter, my girlfriend, to never get over me leaving. Maya is gone now. Follow me, everyone. Are you going to say the thing that makes you a good leader, or are you going to say the thing that makes you a chump? Time to save the world. Alright, time to heal up, save, and call it a day for Legend of Legaia.
Yeah, this was fun. This was... I'm impressed.
With this game?
I'm actually impressed. Yeah, I personally am impressed by this game. And...
Excellent. We'll need to get someone...
Also, I want to just say... Yeah.
We'll have to get someone on tomorrow, or next time. If not necessarily tomorrow, maybe we do this on weekends. We'll have to do this next time, because I think the, 1 hour card game streams are better for weekdays than this. But we'll get someone on and, show this thing off.
Also, I have to mention this, with that person that Braden mentioned was trying to beat Vagrant Story.
Mm-hmm.
Got to the final boss, banged their head on the final boss because the final boss is bullshit for 3.5 hours.
I need to remember.
It didn't finish.
Did not finish. Ooh.
Relkin, you can ask him questions how he felt. He's in chat.
Relkin, how was?
He didn't enjoy his time.
Did you not? Is there a map in this game? I don't remember if I need to go this way or if I should be on the other side. So you did not agree with M's fight for Vagrant Story to be Game of the Year? I take it then? Yeah.
The game is okay until that point. It's a bad final boss.
Yeah, my problem with Vagrant Story is that I love everything that happens in the cutscenes, and I am ambivalent at best at most of the things that happen between them.
Yeah.
Did M fight that boss? No. M never beat that game. She tried. She got pretty far in that game, but never actually beat it.
first half of the game is great, but they clearly ran out of money in the second half. Yeah, that's a good description of that game.
Mm-hmm. All right. I just need to save. I don't need to fight you fuckers, though.
My favorite JRPG tradition of, we're not going to let you save outside of the places where we put the save crystals.
Or on the map.
See, that's the nice innovation of Final Fantasy is the, hey, we'll let you save whenever you want as long as it's on the overworld.
Mm-hmm. All right, saving now. So thank you, ZP. Thank you for everyone who has been chilling through all of this. Have a good rest of your Sunday. Maybe I'll be back tomorrow because it's MLK Day. But I'm probably not going to do this most weekdays. So
I might do something an hour or so from now, maybe 5:30. But yeah, otherwise I gotta chat with some friends and family and see how they're doing. Yeah, 5:30 is when I will probably start something up.
Dope. Have a good one, y'all. Bye.